tonight we have the Pendleton Bulldogs here in Travlers Rest, South Carolina, to take on the home team, the Devil Dogs. David Poley, Sam Goodrow with you on a beautiful, chilly, just right Friday night in the upstate of South Carolina. So thankful for you guys all for joining us. So thank you to everybody who makes this possible. You are listening to Pendleton Bulldog Football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. It's homecoming night in Travlers Rest, South Carolina. David Poley and Sam Goodrow on the call. Sam, how are we feeling tonight?
I'm feeling amazing. The last game of the non-region slate for the Bulldogs. It's about a 55-minute drive over from Pendleton High School here to the beautiful athletic facilities at Travlers Rest High School. We're looking across from a really nice-looking Devil Dogs Athletic Performance Center. Probably one of the nicer press boxes we've been in our tenure calling these games. So just super fired up to get back after it tonight, David.
No doubt about it. Pendleton Bulldog Football sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse on WABB Spirit Radio is brought to you by a number of sponsorships, including the title sponsor, Longhorn Steakhouse. But not enough is mentioned about the press box sponsors, Rains on Exchange, Rogers Petroleum Incorporated, Guy's Pizza, and all of our other sponsors, Black Tie of Anderson, Pendleton Historic Foundation, Getting Chili Ice Cream Truck, Wes Cox Attorney at Law, Liberty Hall Bed and Breakfast, Foothills Community Church, Crenshaws, Tiger Express Wash, United Community Bank, Mac.Bid, Absolute Law Firm. We are so thankful for everybody who makes this possible. So many great contributors that make everything happen. So tonight, it is the 2-3 Pendleton Bulldogs against the 2-3 Travlers Rest Devil Dogs in a battle 4A versus 3A. It's an exciting one. Travlers Rest last year 1-8 overall. The Bulldogs 4-6. So both teams trying to get to 500 tonight. Will be a battle to do so. Sam, what do you get from tonight? Homecoming, beautiful atmosphere, two teams that really need a win.
Well, like you said, before the bye week, Pendleton with that 35-7 loss at home against Powdersville to fall to 1-3 at that point. I think if you had told the two of us that night that Pendleton 3 weeks later would have a chance to get back to 500 at 3-3, I think we would certainly take it. Obviously had a great win last week against Carolina Academy, but we know that the talent matchup on the field and the depth of the roster were pretty much indicative of the score in that game. Obviously a 41-0 lead at halftime before some younger guys got to play in the second half. I think this is a big game just for the momentum of the program in general. Really haven't had just that marquee win yet this season. Yes, the Keenan game was great. Yes, it was great to dominate a lesser opponent in Carolina Academy last week. But I think if you can go on the road facing a bigger school with a similar or same record as you in the Travlers Rest Devil Dogs, I think this would be a huge turning point in the season potentially for the Bulldogs, especially as we inch closer to region play, which starts next week at Walhalla.
It's the 16th meeting all-time between Pendleton and Travlers Rest. The series is tied at 7-7-1. Pendleton has won the last 6. Pendleton also returning some talent tonight in Trent Garner and Jaden Wilson going to be back out there. Trent Garner in a limited role. Jaden Wilson seems to be in full capacity. These two teams play two very different styles of football. Travlers Rest favoring the option offense, while Pendleton incorporates a lot of spread and pistol type of looks that we're going to see. Sam, what does that mean tonight with the two styles of football for how this game is going to be paced?
Yeah, so I think you mentioned it well. We're going to get into it a little bit more in the keys to the game right before kickoff. But like you said, Travlers Rest is going to bunch it in tight on offense. They're going to have some eye candy with some motion. You really just have to have good eye discipline and make sure that you know where the football is. There's going to be elaborate fakes. There's going to be fake tosses. There's going to be quarterback keepers. You've just got to have your eyes on the football at all times and limit this Travlers Rest team, which doesn't really like to throw the ball too much. Limit them to just a few explosive plays on the ground, if any at all. And then if you're the Bulldogs, I think you just got to play to the strengths of your team and to the weaknesses of the defense. We talked a little bit to Coach Hal before the game off the air, and he just saw on film that Travlers Rest likes to play off coverage with its secondary, and I think it's going to be paramount for the Bulldogs to kind of just try to exploit that with the quick game passes, the RPO systems that we've seen Coach Howell employ all season. But also, you have a star running back duo in Bray Spear and Deshaun Jenkins. I think one of those, if not both, has a big night.
And getting Bryce Spear going last week was so huge in that game against Carolina Academy. Obviously, the Bulldogs started this season with Jackson Allman at quarterback. Now Dax Allen firmly in the helm has kind of incorporated them into more of a run-first team, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big game for Dax Allen. You never know how many more opportunities he's going to get with Jackson Allman on the mend from his injury suffered in the Keenan game. But for Dax Allen, certainly a big game for him, not only to use his arm, but also to utilize his athleticism and his legs.
Absolutely. So we are 6.5 minutes away from kickoff here, so we'll take some time for our first break to hear from our sponsors.
Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs. Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care. Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin' Chili, your hometown traditional ice cream truck, for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin' Chili Ice Cream Truck.
Liberty Hall is a 10-room bed and breakfast with ensuite bath in historic Pendleton, available for those traveling to our area and local getaways. Liberty Hall venue is a great location for wedding receptions, corporate meetings, parties, and events. Call Liberty Hall today for your next event. Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs is the official pizza of Pendleton High School football. Come see us on Highway 76 right across the street from the Michelin plant in Sandy Springs. We're the home of the famous award-winning Bird Dog Pizza, along with many other specialty pizzas. We also have wings, calzones, strombolis, hot subs, dessert pizza, and much more. To place an order, call 864-375-1410 or stop by and dine in with us. Guy's Pizza in Sandy Springs, proudly serving the area for over 10 years.
Back with you, Pendleton Bulldogs football on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. You are listening to the Guy's Pizza pregame show, hosted by David Poley and Sam Goodrow. We just had the Pendleton Historic Foundation National Anthem and the coin toss, where Travlers Rest will receive the opening kickoff. It will be a show tonight of 2 and 3 teams looking to move to 500 in the upstate of South Carolina, both looking to bounce back from losing seasons last year. We had our captains come out earlier for Travlers Rest. It was number 57, Noah Robertson, number 32, Aiden Garrett, number 3, Colby Ellis, and Colby Epps, and number 5, Xavier Hagerman. And for your Bulldogs, it's number 52, Chris Payne, number 35, Gavin Yeomans, number 9, Bray Spear, and number 2, Dax Allen. Sam, give me a little uniform report. Tell the people what we got going on tonight.
Absolutely, Dave. First for the visiting Pendleton Bulldogs, wearing their road whites with gold helmets, black pants, black numerals on the jerseys, black stripes on the shoulders, gold stripes on the pants, as usual. For the Devil Dogs, they are in their gold tops with white helmets and white pants. And I can't tell the details on the jerseys because they are in the tunnel ready to run out onto the field.
It's going to be an electric atmosphere here in just a couple of minutes. So this game, a crucial one for both teams. Cannot say that enough. The atmosphere is palpable here in homecoming night, right in Travlers Rest, South Carolina, just a little outside of the Greenville downtown. As right now the Travlers Rest football team carrying every single flag imaginable running out of that tunnel. And this fan base is already getting loud, and they are proud to see their Devil Dogs come out. So without further ado, Sam, your 3 keys to the game.
Yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet. Number 1 is going to be to have good eye discipline. Travlers Rest's offense does a lot of what I like to call window dressing before the snap, so it's critical for the Bulldogs to know where the football is at all times and not allow this rushing attack of the Devil Dogs to have explosive plays throughout the game. Number 2, don't shoot yourself in the foot tonight. We've seen a lot of Pendleton drives derailed by penalties or turnovers so far early in this season. Definitely want to avoid that here tonight. And then number 3, play to your strengths. The strengths of the Pendleton offense, quarterbacked by Dax Allen, is the quick game. We're going to see a lot of RPOs, screens, quarterback runs, and gives to the running backs. Got to establish the run tonight if you're the Bulldogs. Put some points on the board, limit the turnovers, and let's move to 500 with a victory.
Thank you so much, Sam. Wonderful keys to the game, giving everybody a look at what is in store coming up right now. We got a couple more seconds as the teams have gone out to the field for the opening kickoff. That concludes the Guy's Pizza pregame show, and we are so grateful for all of our sponsors and for you all listening at home. So grateful for everybody at WABB Spirit Radio helping us out, being able to broadcast Pendleton football from right here in Travlers Rest to you wherever you are. So these two teams both pretty large roster sizes, a lot of depth on both sides. You can see the kickoff units are out there. They're fresh. They're ready to go as Brody Sprayberry's kick is away and is returned at the Travlers Rest 20 and will be taken up to the 35. It's a great return from number 7, Cooper Blake.
Shorter kick that time by Brody Sprayberry. Not sure if that's part of the scouting report. They're not trying to allow the returner for Travlers Rest to have a return to the house there, but nonetheless, pretty good field position to start out the game for the Devil Dogs.
And that gives us a look to see the Travlers Rest offense. Obviously, we mentioned in the pregame an option look. It's going to be old school style of football. But they come out with 3 to the left, out wide, a receiver to the right, and they'll be in a pistol set. They try to fire over the middle, and that pass is picked off. Pass immediately is picked off. Wow. That is an incredible start to the game as the Pendleton Bulldogs force a turnover almost immediately. And Travlers Rest coughed it up on the first play of the game, so didn't even get a chance to introduce the Travlers Rest Devil Dogs offense, as your Bulldogs will have the ball immediately inside the opposing 40. What a start to the game.
Well, now we see why Travlers Rest doesn't like to throw the ball as much. Bradley Runyon does a great job coming down from his linebacker position to jump the route, laid out, and made the catch. Immediately gives Pendleton the football in Travlers Rest territory. A huge start to the game.
Wow, what a start. Now Dax Allen will go out there for the Pendleton offense. He'll throw a screen to the left side. Left side on the outside is Mellow Mattress. Mellow Mattress will get inside the 5-yard line. Mellow Mattress on a quick pitch and catch. Coach Howell said that that's what they wanted to do. Quick out to their playmakers in space, and Mellow Mattress, the senior receiver, does exactly that.
Can barely catch our breath, and Pendleton already not only with the football, but inside the 5-yard line, let's punch it in right here.
And they're already back out there. Allen, the handoff, goes to Spear. Spear met at the line pretty much, so will only get about a yard there, but use his big frame to muscle forward a bit. So high pacing here from Pendleton to start off with a big play and then giving it to your bell cow.
Travlers Rest trying to slow them down a little bit with a substitution here on the goal line. 3 new linemen coming in. They have got 8 guys in the box. They are daring Pendleton and Dax Allen to throw the football here on second down.
Allen goes under center. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Fakes the gift to Spear. Rolls route. Allen will fire to the end zone. Touchdown! Bulldogs get on the board first. It's Sam Jennings in the front right corner of the end zone. Number 4, the kicker, the returner, the receiver, does it all, and the Bulldogs get on the board, making it 6-0.
Beautiful play design there for the Bulldogs. Saw Dax Allen roll out to his right. Sam Jennings is wide open after a shallow cross coming from the slot on the far side of the field. Wide open in the end zone. Beautiful execution to get the Bulldogs on the board first.
Jennings' first time in the end zone in a while as Brody Sprayberry's kick goes straight through the uprights out of the stadium, past the track, and the Bulldogs, quicker than you can say, Travlers Rest are up 7-0. Very unfortunate turn of events for the Devil Dogs. Didn't even get a chance to get going on offense as that first pass fired over the middle was picked off. And the Bulldogs took that interception from Bradley Runyon and turned it into a 3-play touchdown drive.
Just an absolutely dream start for these Bulldogs coming on the road. You lose the coin toss. Travlers Rest decides to take the opening kickoff. And you're still scoring with 1 minute and 2 seconds into the game.
So a very advantageous start for the Bulldogs, who will put Brody Sprayberry in the exact same place that he was 1 minute and 2 seconds ago.
Did he miss the extra point?
They show he missed it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we're getting confirmation he missed it.
Confirmation missed it. Looked great from our angle, but missed it to the right. It was definitely had the distance. So it's 6-0. Bulldogs got it, as Sprayberry will kick it away. Again, that squib style to the left side is picked up off the bounce, returned, ball's cut, ball's out, and it will roll towards the Bulldogs sideline and go out of bounds, so Travlers Rest will retain possession. But early on, ball security not in favor of the Devil Dogs.
Absolutely, and Travlers Rest employing 2 returners back deep, and the one on the far side of the field fielded the kick, returned it to about the 25, was leveled by a Bulldog. The ball bounced into the hands of the other returner, then he dropped the ball, and it trickled out of bounds. So just a crazy start on special teams and on defense for the Bulldogs.
So Preston Garreau, number 2, the quarterback for the Devil Dogs, will get back out there looking to the anchor of the offense. They come out in the exact same look they had in the first play. It's a trips left with a back in the pistol, very close to Garreau. He'll take the snap, and he'll hand it off to go straight up the middle and down to the right side for a gain of about 2 was the ball carrier.
The Travlers Rest early on, changing up their identity offensively. I went to the Seneca Travlers Rest game during the Pendleton bye week. I did not see a single play in which Travlers Rest employed the spread offense. We've already seen them employ it twice tonight in 2 plays.
Joining Garreau in the backfield is number 24, Tashawn Taylor. Same formation once again. Garreau takes the snap, tosses it to Taylor. Taylor out left will go nowhere.
Great tackle in the open field by Jordan Lewis. That shotgun toss to the left. Jordan Lewis, the only guy in the area of the running back, and he makes the play with a lot of green grass behind him.
So it's a 3rd down and 5. The Travlers Rest offense put in another high-pressure situation early on, just under the 10-minute mark, and it feels like they're gasping for air. Same formation once again. Very committed to this spread trips offense. Bulldogs defensive line crouching up. Garreau back to pass. He'll look to run, and he will go nowhere. Driven down to the ground by a pair of Bulldogs, including number 53, Fisher Saylor. Saylor's been all over the field this season for the Bulldogs. brings Garreau down to the ground, and the Devil Dogs will punt it away.
Calhoun Mize also in on the stop there, coming down from his linebacker position. A nice stunt by the Pendleton defensive line just to create havoc at the line of scrimmage. Great start for the Bulldogs. A turnover forced on the opening possession, and now forcing a punt on Travlers Rest's second possession. Looking to get the ball here around midfield or so.
Punting it away is Travlers Rest. Sam Jennings back to return. He'll let the ball hit the ground and roll to about his own 31-yard line. So that's where Dax Allen and company will get back out there. But the linebacker turned quarterback had a pretty easy drive for his Bulldogs to make it 6-0 as he fired a pass left to Mellow Mattress and then a handoff to Bray Spear with the drive culminating in a touchdown pass from Allen to Sam Jennings to make it 6-0. Obviously, they're expecting a little more difficulty here. Can't look for a 3-yard drive when you're starting it on the own 30. But the smooth, fluid nature of the first drive definitely speaks well for this one.
Travlers Rest defense coming out in what looks like cover 0, 7 in the box, and everyone else manned up on a receiver or the running back split out in the slot right now is Bray Spear. Be interesting to see Pendleton's approach here offensively on their second drive of the game after driving 35 yards on their opening possession in just 3 plays.
Branson Wilson, number 3, coming in and off the field. Issue with substitution. Now we see number 34, Colt Davis, coming in, the freshman. We're seeing a lot of him last week. As Allen will take it out of the empty and fire to Jennings. Jennings on the rocket screen. Jennings will cut it back inside. Jennings leveled at the 35 for a gain of about 4.
Great block near the near sideline by Corday Chapman to get that play started. Came out from his right tackle position, did a nice job not getting too far downfield, and sealed the edge for Jennings there on the 4-yard gain.
Big hit at the end there by Devil Dogs number 16, Ethan Keller. As the Bulldogs back to the line, send Bray Spear out of the backfield. It's empty once again. They send Ty Miller in motion, the tight end. Now they send Spear in motion. They fake the give to him. They go power with Allen. Allen the left side. Allen's got some room. Allen's got a first down easy. Allen past midfield. Allen out of bounds at the Travlers Rest 40-yard line. So a lot of that action is going to be used tonight. Motion action, getting a guy like Dax Allen with his athletic ability on his feet, on his runs with some juice behind him.
Just a great play design. We saw 2 different players come in motion before the snap, and then Dax Allen just patiently coming off the left side of that offensive line, able to create a big gain for the Bulldogs.
And they're back to it quick. We're trying to run the same action, but ball comes out, and Allen able to fall on it. So trying to do the exact same thing, maybe a play off of what they just did, could have been a give to Spear, but it looked like an exact same replica of the play without the first motion from Miller. So that backs up the Bulldogs to a 2nd down and 20. Halting the momentum of what will seem to be a good drive after that big play from Allen. Allen now back to pass on 2nd down. Flag immediately. That one sailed incomplete, but it didn't matter as that play was being blown dead already.
I think it's either going to be a false start or an illegal formation on the Bulldogs here. Looks like some miscommunication between the receiver on the outside, Landon McMillan, and the receiver in the slot in Sam Jennings.
Play immediately blown dead will be a procedural on the Bulldogs. False start will move them back. So now they are in their own territory once again. Ball placed on the Bulldog 46.
2nd and 23.
2nd and 23. So now backed up. Allen looks for the signal from his sideline. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Spear to his left side. They send Jennings in motion, left to right, back to pass, and another flag immediately. It'll be a procedural once again.
Going to get Mellow Mattress on the near sideline for a false start. He has his hands up in disbelief. He definitely doesn't agree with the call there. But something that this near side line judge sees with Mellow Mattress coming off the ball he does not like and has flagged him for false starts twice in a row now.
Very difficult for Mattress to keep his head in the game after that one because that can be so frustrating as a player with those motion type of plays. You got to make sure that your eye is on the ball, not just here in the snap count. So now, 2nd and 28. Ball on the Bulldog 41. Two receivers to Allen's right. Ty Miller to his right as well. Toss goes to Spear out of the shotgun. Spear able to get 1 yard on the play. But a little bit of delay on the pitch from Allen to Spear. Brings up 3rd down.
Ethan Keller kind of blew up that play coming from his linebacker position. Didn't make the tackle, but got in the face of both Allen and Spear. Just didn't allow Spear to get going downhill at all.
Now a 3rd down and 22. Bullhorn blowing. Fans stopping their feet. Travlers Rest after their early deficit. Still in it. Staying in it. The crowd is on their feet. It's a 3rd down and 22. Allen fires. Picked off! That ball was just floating in the air and is picked off by the captain, number 32, Aiden Garrett.
Really unfortunate situation there for Allen. He was looking to fire over the middle, and the ball just slipped out of his hand and floated up in the air like a punt. And like you said, intercepted by Aiden Garrett, one of the captains tonight for the Devil Dogs. Just a disaster sequence of events for the Bulldogs, who had the drive derailed by penalties. They were facing a 3rd and 27, and now not even able to punt, as the first turnover of the night for the Bulldogs is an interception from Dax Allen.
So a tale of 2 drives. That first one, 3 plays and a touchdown. That second one, a couple penalties and an interception. Absolute disaster. Not what you want to see after that good tone setter. Now, Garreau and company have the ball back. He drops back to pass for Travlers Rest. Fires over the middle. He's got it deep on the seam to his intended receiver. And into the end zone is a touchdown, Travlers Rest. So the Devil Dogs respond. Immediate fire from Preston Garreau over the middle on the seam. That's Riley Broderick into the end zone for a touchdown, and it's 6-6 with an opportunity to take the lead with the PAT. What a play. What a response from the Devil Dogs.
Devil Dogs came out in empty, and down the seam, wide open down the field was Broderick. It's been clear that Travlers Rest has been trying to test this Pendleton secondary all night. This time to back in, not a sure thing. They take advantage of it with a 47-yard touchdown pass. The extra point is good. So the Devil Dogs take the lead here at home on homecoming night. 7-6 lead with 5:37 to play in the first quarter.
So what a response from Travlers Rest, who had that interception on the first play of the game, had to punt it away on their second drive. On the third drive, they decided to just throw it over the middle on the seam, and Riley Broderick makes a great play. That's number 2, Preston Garreau, the quarterback, firing to number 0, Riley Broderick. And they're into the end zone. They have a lead. So a huge shift, as what immediately seems like the Bulldogs were out ahead early.
Yeah, the momentum's like a seesaw here early on. Like you said, all Pendleton on the first few plays of the game, and then on the last 2 plays, the pendulum swings back to the Devil Dogs side of things. Now they lead 7-6, and we're back on serve, per se.
So the Devil Dogs will kick away. Back deep for Pendleton receive is Jace Harrison Whitner and Sam Jennings. Return will be taken by an up man. That's number 11, Calhoun Mize. Mize will get to the 30, maybe the 31. And after that interception, Dax Allen, the senior, will come back out there and look to right his wrong.
Like we were saying on the previous drive, it is just paramount that the Bulldogs avoid these turnovers. This is not really a team set up to overcome a 2nd and 20, a 3rd and 25, as they were faced with last drive that ended in a turnover. Got to run the ball here on first down, you would think, or get a quick screen to get positive momentum to start this drive.
Multiple penalties and issues with substitutions on that last drive. Allen now on the first play drops back to pass, fires to Jennings for a quick hitter over the middle on a little bit of a hitch route. He'll get 6 yards and be a good start from Allen to Jennings.
Just about a 5-yard curl concept there for Sam Jennings. A quick hitter for the quarterback, Allen, to get his confidence back after that unfortunate interception that slipped out of his hand. There to make the stop was number 8, Junior Snotty for Travlers Rest.
Allen back to pass again. Will go to the screen to the left side. That is caught by number 13, Landon McMillan. McMillan will get back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Great job by the Devil Dog defense on that right side, far side, to make a play on that. They knew it was a screen immediately.
Yeah, it looked like a bubble screen concept for the Bulldogs there. Landon McMillan did a nice job coming back to the football on a little bit of an errant throw, but unfortunately Ty Miller missed a block on the outside, so not much doing there for the Bulldogs on second down.
So a big 3rd down and 4. Allen looks left to his sideline, gets the signal from Coach Howell. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Spear in the backfield, joins him. Allen back to pass. Pass is caught by Jennings for the first down. He'll get it by a yard. So a great play by Jennings. Had to dive out, lay out by the down marker for that one. Many people wanted it incomplete on the Travlers Rest side, but Jennings was able to haul it in and rolled down by contact, moves the chains for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, a really low throw there from Dax Allen to Sam Jennings. He does a nice job just hitting the deck and getting his arms underneath the football so the line judge on the far side would have no question as to whether he caught the football or not. Big play there on 3rd down, moves the chains.
So they come back into the pistol. Allen hands off to Spear. Spear blown up immediately by a couple of Devil Dogs. That'll be a loss of about 3. He lined up behind Dax Allen. As soon as he got it, he was met by 3 Devil Dogs right there with hard contact.
Aiden Garrett there on the stop, the guy with the interception on the last drive of Allen, blows up his block at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 12 now for Pendleton.
Devil Dogs showing blitz. Linebackers creeping up at the line, trying to anticipate the snap count. Allen takes it. Fires quick to his left. It's Mellow Mattress. Mattress breaks a tackle. Mattress able to gain about 4 yards there, but it'll still be a 3rd down and 8. This Devil Dog defense very aggressive, chomping at the bit to get past the line of scrimmage.
The Bulldogs trying to get Mellow Mattress back out in space after on that first drive. A really explosive play to set up the touchdown. They really like his skill set in this matchup on the outside.
3rd down, Allen back to pass, immediately pressured, steps up in the pocket, sheds a tackle. Allen will have the 1st down and more, running with his legs. Allen out to the 40-yard line before being finally brought down, loses the ball at the end.
Number 2, Dax Allen.
But he's already out of bounds, so Dax Allen uses his feet to pick up a huge one.
Just a Herculean effort there by Allen. 3 Travlers Rest Devil Dog defenders in the backfield, juked out 2 of them, stiff-armed the other, and then able to pick up the 1st down and much more. The Bulldogs now at the 40-yard line of Travlers Rest.
Quick back to it, Allen in the empty. See if they'll bring in anybody in motion. They will not. Allen will fire. Pass is caught on the right sideline by Bray Spear. It'll be a short gain.
Looks like Coach Howell is putting Dax Allen in simple read situations. Looked like 2 reads to the right side of the field that time. Mellow Mattress, about a 10-yard route up the seam. Didn't like what he saw there, so he got to his check down, the running back Spear on the sideline. Not a huge play, but avoided disaster.
2nd down and 8. Allen will fire left to Jennings. Jennings takes it on the screen. A lot of that rocket action, moving blockers on the left side. Jennings decided to cut that one up the middle. Got another couple of yards. It'll be a 3rd down and 4.
Looks like the timing was just a little bit off there on the screen. Walker Dunlap had to wait to get upfield until the ball was caught by Jennings to avoid the illegal ineligible receiver downfield penalty. So not much doing on the screen, but now a critical 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 4 pistol, double set, receiver stacked. Allen fires immediately to Jennings. Jennings will not get a block from Landon McMillan, and he will be brought straight to the ground. That's number 0, Riley Broderick, the touchdown recipient from before there on the tackle to make it 4th down, but the Bulldogs seem keen to stay on the field.
Yeah, just a one-on-one block, one that time shed by Riley Broderick. Landon McMillan was trying to steal the edge, was not able to do so. 4th down, the Bulldogs offense back out there.
Devil Dogs crowd on their feet. Travlers Rest defense seems to be showing pressure. 7 players inside the box. Again, that stack doubles pistol set. And flags fly all over. Bulldogs seem to be trying to draw the Devil Dogs offside, but it'll be a false start on Pendleton. Move them back to a 4th down and 9, so not what you want to see there.
7 plays so far on this drive. The Bulldogs able to move the football across midfield after starting at their own 30, but we mentioned in the pregame show, just have to avoid these penalties at all costs, as this offense not necessarily built to withstand these 3rd and long, 4th and long situations. So the offense is still out there on 4th and 9 inside the 40.
It's been a recurring theme how penalties bite Pendleton in the butt this season, and on 4th down, another one thrown immediately. That side judge again pointing at Mellow Mattress, number 6. And it'll be a false start on him, and they'll move back another 5 yards. So these penalties have been a story all season of the Bulldogs' inability to take advantage of the momentum and being stalled on these drives.
Yeah, absolutely right, Dave. And you don't see every day the same player get called for 3 false starts in 2 drives. And
nonetheless, a wide receiver.
And Melo's super frustrated either with himself or with the call, and understandably so, as he cost his team 15 yards. You hate to put it like that, but that's the reality of the situation. And now, if you're Pendleton, you consider punting.
I think you might have to. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Howell and the fellows talk about in the timeout. So we'll take a quick break to hear from some of our sponsors, and the timeout should come back with you for a 4th down and 13.
Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs.
Back with you for 4th down. Bulldogs drop back to pass. Dax Allen running around. Flag thrown on the play. 4th down at 13. Allen just has to get rid of it, but he's brought down at his own 36-yard line. Was running around like a chicken with his head cut off back there and sacked. An incredible loss of yardage, at least 20 yards. Flag thrown on the play, but the Devil Dogs will most likely decline, as it seemed to be on Pendleton. So an absolute disaster on 4th down.
David, I'll be honest. I don't know if it's Dax Allen's jersey number 2, or what the situation is that brought this to mind. But that sure looks like Cade Klubnik in his freshman year in that Orange Bowl against Tennessee. Dropping back, has nothing down the field, so going to try to out-athlete the defensive line and the linebackers in pursuit. And that's something you just can't do on 4th down there if you're Allen. You never want to throw the ball away on a 4th down, but I think that would have been the advantageous situation there. Instead, it's a huge loss, and now Travlers Rest takes over at the Pendleton 41-yard line.
Back at it. Pass is incomplete to the right side. But how quickly has this game flipped? As it was 11.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Travlers Rest has the ball going in the lead, 7-6. That last play on 4th down was just mind-blowing because, like you said, it would have been better for Allen to throw that ball away. Obviously, you don't want to do that on the 4th down. That's never the mentality. But you also can't do what he just did and lose 30 yards when you maybe even could have just punted that away with a throw out of bounds. 2nd down and 10. Little motion, gets to a trips on the left side, snap over the head of the quarterback, but some problems with that motion there, and it'll be a flag on Travlers Rest.
Well, we know what the near side line judge's favorite call to make is, and that is a false start. This official has called 7 false starts already in this game between the two teams.
And that could be the case of something that's going to plague both teams throughout the entire game, or something established early and maybe laid off on later in the second half. We see all different referees with their favorites, with their stylistics. It'll be interesting to see, but that's not great for the Devil Dogs. A lot of penalties called. A couple weeks ago, we were on call for Pendleton versus Powdersville, and there were over 25 penalties called in that game. So hopefully it's not a repeat of that tonight. Second down and 15. Preston Garreau hands it off on the right side to Preston Garreau. Is down there. And that's the end of your first quarter. So Travlers Rest is up 7-6. And the teams will switch fields. So we'll hear from more of our sponsors as we go into the second quarter.
Is your vehicle in need of a wash right now? Visit any Tiger Express Wash location in Clemson, Easley, Pendleton, or Seneca, and you can be through the tunnel with a clean, dry car in about 3.5 minutes. Plus, with the Anywhere Unlimited Fast Pass, keep that shine with a wash as often as you like at any of our upstate locations. Customers enjoy an eco-friendly, fun, jungle theme, and free vacuum use. Tiger Express Wash. More locations, same quality care. Why not beat the heat with a cool, sweet treat? Book Gettin' Chili, your hometown traditional ice cream truck, for your next event. You can find and like us on Facebook and call 864-844-4384 to book us for your next event. That's 864-844-4384 for Gettin' Chili Ice Cream Truck.
Back with you for the second quarter of action. Pendleton Bulldog football on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. A little bit of a correction from the first half. Quarterback is not Preston Garreau, number 2. It is number 3, Colby Epps. A little confusion on the jersey numbers there. He fired to Broderick Riley for the first touchdown of the game earlier. Now he's got the ball, and on this third down and 12, he'll take the snap. He'll go up a little bit to the right side, but he's brought down for a sack by Calhoun Mize. So a fourth down and long. Now, obviously, Travlers Rest is in Pendleton territory, but do they punt it away?
It looks like they're going to. They're trotting the punt team out. And if I can just speak on the jersey number situation, it is never ideal for broadcasters, for PA announcers, for spotters in general, when you have white numerals against a light color like yellow. This is a broadcaster's nightmare. And honestly, I thought the quarterback was Garreau the entire time as well. So can't fault you at all for that one. It's been really tough to make out these jersey numbers.
Also with Garreau in there in the backfield in a couple plays right now as the running back. So apologies for that, but the Bulldogs get the football back after that punt was just let go to the ground by number 4, Sam Jennings. And with 11 minutes and 11 seconds, 11-11, lucky number, maybe the Bulldogs are able to get back on the board with this drive.
This one's going to be worst field position of the night by far for the Bulldogs. First drive started on their plus 35. Second drive started on their own 31. Third drive started out on their own 30. This one's starting out at the Bulldogs' own 21-yard line. I feel like a broken record, but the Bulldogs have got to avoid the penalties here on this drive before they hopefully take the lead.
Number 23, Deshaun Jenkins, the tandem running back with Bracebeard, joins Allen in the backfield. He'll take a carry up the middle, and he'll get about 6 yards on that carry, moving inside of his left guard and his center. Great blocking there by number 55 and 59. That's Walker Dunlap and Mason Wilson.
A little bit of a change of pace with Jenkins in and running back now for this series.
Allen hands it off again to Jenkins. Had a hole, but tripped off by his own blocker. He'll get another couple. Puts Pendleton in a position for a third down and short.
Far side official's actually going to give him enough for the first down.
Wow.
That is big, and Pendleton staying on schedule so far on this drive, and that's when they're going to be set up for success. This is not an offense that you want to see get behind the chains. These 3 to 4 yard gains every down can really go a long way for a quick-style offense as the Bulldogs employ.
They try to give it to Jenkins once again, and that one completely sniffed out by the defense. Great job there by number 10, Jackson McLeese, on that tackle. Second down and 10. Now the Bulldogs kind of been found out in the run game. Do they go somewhere else? Same formation, double set. Allen and Jenkins there. Allen will carry it himself. Maybe a little miscommunication on the fake to Jenkins, as Jenkins didn't even come to the ball there. Allen just took it himself as Jenkins went the opposite direction, but successful nonetheless. Third down and 3 after the rush and 7. Allen just showing off his athletic ability all tonight.
definitely didn't look like the design of the play, but outstanding job by Allen on a busted play to just get what he could, setting up another third down and short, which is advantageous for the Bulldogs.
Allen now takes it himself on a QB blast to the right side. That wide side of the field is able to maneuver up the middle for the first down. Right along that right hash is stopped at his, I believe, right at his own 49, maybe even right on the midfield marker, the 50. Right on that big Travlers Rest logo in the middle of the field. First down, Bulldogs.
If you've ever watched the Bulldogs, you know Deshaun Jenkins, not a big boy, but he made a big boy block on Nate Bagwell to seal the edge for his quarterback.
And that big boy block rewards him with a carry. He'll get to the second level easily. He'll break some tackles. He'll break some more, and Jenkins down after a gain of about 15 yards. What a run by Jenkins, like you said, showing off that strength from the little dog.
Yeah, it seems like Jenkins has been in the weight room the past few weeks, more of a speed back traditionally, but showing off the power on this drive.
Trips left, handoff again to this time. That one was Bray Spear. Spear just complimenting Deshaun Jenkins right there. So the ball now inside the Travlers Rest 30. Pendleton getting some action going on the ground.
Huge for the Bulldogs to just be able to rotate whoever the fresh body is between Spear and Jenkins. They would love to have them split carries here tonight and go with the hot hand at each time.
Wide side of the field to the left. Spear breaks some tackles, and he'll get close to the down marker once again. Spear just bouncing off bodies like a pinball.
Not sure what the running back room ate for breakfast this morning, but whatever it was, might have had some Wheaties mixed in there. Bray Spear and Deshaun Jenkins have been really tough tackles here on this drive, and the Bulldogs marching down the field.
And they'll actually award Bray Spear that first down on that last-ditch effort of that run. So the Bulldogs making some first downs on this drive from both Spear and Jenkins with angry running at the end of plays.
57 yards in 7 plays so far on this drive for Pendleton.
Right at the 8-minute mark, it's a toss to Spear on first down. Inside the 30, flag comes out, thrown by the line judge closest to our side. Once again, that one came out after the play had commenced. Could be something on the offensive line.
They're going to get a hold against Ty Miller on the block on the outside. He was matched up with Jackson McLeese, number 10 as well for Travlers Rest. And our favorite official, the near side line judge, throws his 9th flag of the night.
Wow, so with 8 minutes and 1 second left in the first half, we've had 9 flags thrown by one official. That could be climbing up there with the most that I've ever seen thrown by a single official in the first half if he keeps on with this pace. No doubt about it. This linebacking core, Jackson McLeese, Aiden Garrett, and Ethan Keller, very impressive so far for Travlers Rest. So 1st and 20 now. Dax Allen will take the snap out of the gun. He'll fake the give to Spear, and he'll throw on the slant to Mattress. Mattress will get some there, but he started to run backwards towards the end of the play once receiving it, so he'll maybe get a gain of about 6 or 7.
So really nice play design by Coach Howell there. Had 3 receivers to the left side, which was the wide side of the field, and only Mellow Mattress to the right. Mattress able to win his one-on-one matchup, but unfortunately not much to show for it, but a nice play design nonetheless.
So it'll be 2nd down and 14. Allen out of the gun. Snap comes. He lost it to his left. Allen has to dive on it. So another issue with the snap. That's the 3rd time in this game that there's been an issue with the snap.
Then we talked about it in the pregame show brought to you by Guy's Pizza. This Pendleton offense cannot afford to shoot itself in the foot. We've seen the results on the field when they do not shoot themselves in the foot. They've been able to methodically march down the drive. But these last 2 plays, you got a holding penalty, a gain of about 8, then a disaster snap over the head of your quarterback. The Bulldogs need to lock back in here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Allen fires on the screen. That's number 9, Bray Spear to the right side, so a very short, minimalistic gain. Just a decision to check that down there. Brings up a very long 4th down. So the Bulldogs do have it inside the opposing 40. It'll be on the Travlers Rest 35. But maybe a decision where, do you want to boot it away? It is 4th down and north of 20.
I think I would almost punt this away, try to pin them inside the 10. You are on the Travlers Rest 35, but 22 yards to go with a quarterback who started the season as a linebacker is not a great situation here for your offense.
They do line up to go for an empty set. Travlers Rest brings the heat. Allen wants to look and fire it deep. He'll get it there. Will he get it to the end zone? Pass is caught. Touchdown! Oh, my goodness! What a play from Dax Allen to Landon McMillan. Allen on the run. Allen on the run to his left side will fire. Caught. Touchdown. Bulldogs retake the lead. What a football play!
Allen was met with a free rusher immediately, spun out to his left, bought a little time, stepped up, floated one toward the front of the end zone, and Landon McMillan able to get behind the defense, go up and grab it, bring it in for a 35-yard touchdown on 4th and 22. The good thing they didn't take my advice there, David, because it would still be 7-6 Travlers Rest, and now with the extra point being no good, it will be 12-7 for the Bulldogs, taking the lead with 5:25 remaining in the first half. What a play by Dax Allen and Landon McMillan.
That's why we're in the booth and the coaches are on the field. What a play by Dax Allen. Hero ball by the captain. Senior rolling out to his left after, like you said, Sam, completely evading that free rusher, tossing him off with his shoulders, getting out left on the run, throws it, 2 receivers in the area, back left front of the end zone, and McMillan hauls it in for the touchdown. So a huge momentum shift, and like you mentioned, that extra point again missed on that second time, so it's 12-7, not a score you see very often.
Not at all, especially not in high school, because you see 12 points, you think, okay, 4 field goals. You usually only see that in the professional ranks in the NFL.
Never in college usually either.
Right. With the 2 missed extra points by Sprayberry, both wide to the right. Bulldogs with a 5-point lead over the Travlers Rest Devil Dogs. Here was 5:25 remaining in the half. That 35-yard touchdown pass from Allen to McMillan, capping a 10-play, 79-yard drive by the Bulldogs. What a way to respond.
Great response as Sprayberry kicks it away now, and Travlers Rest will have a chance of their own to respond as this kick is taken past midfield now. Pass the 30-yard line. It's number 3.
No flags on the field.
No flags on the play. That's a kick return touchdown for the Travlers Rest Devil Dogs. What a play. Unbelievable matchup there. Wow. What a kick return there.
About an 85-yard kick return to the house there. Fouled a couple blockers, but then got to the near sideline and just outran the rest of the kickoff coverage unit, including the kicker, Brody Sprayberry. And once again, the pendulum swings back to the home team, the Devil Dogs, right back out in front 1 play later.
Kick is good on the extra point, so a quick response by Preston Garreau. Number 2 takes it. What a job. Finishes off there. An incredible return there, just evading tacklers, missing fields, and he gets into the end zone on that huge return. So it is 14-12 in favor of the Devil Dogs.
The Bulldogs on their last drive able to take 5.5 minutes off of the scoreboard. Started out with the ball at the 11:11 mark of the second quarter. Scored a touchdown at the 5:25 mark. Now just 16 seconds later, Travlers Rest on top 14-12.
Some more updates as they come in. If you see the volleyball players walking around, they're selling raffle tickets, $5.
So what a switch. The Devil Dogs quick back at it. They were in control. This game has been full of ups and downs for both sides. The Bulldogs started off with that 3-play touchdown drive after on the first play, the Devil Dogs threw the interception. That's a 6-0 lead for the Bulldogs after the missed PAT. A response from the Travlers Rest Devil Dogs on, they get the ball, first play of their third drive, steam, fired, touchdown, caught by Riley Broderick. So Broderick puts them up 7-6. Then just a couple of moments ago, on a 4th down, Dax Allen rolled out to his left side on a 4th down and 21 and fired to Landon McMillan for the touchdown. Bulldogs regain the momentum. They take the lead, but not for long. The Devil Dogs immediately respond with that 85-yard kickoff return touchdown. Now the Bulldogs just received the kick, and they will have the ball on the 34-yard line. Very entertaining first half of football with 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, the fans in attendance tonight for homecoming definitely getting the value of the price of the $8 admission. Very exciting first half of action, especially here in the second quarter on the last few plays.
So how will Dax Allen and his running backs respond? It's Bray Spear with the handoff. Spear cuts it inside to outside. Spear with a nice gain gets it to about the 50 on the first carry. So momentum is kind of with both sides right now. They're trying to one-up each other like two heavyweight boxers going back and forth, seeing who can annihilate the first one first. Who's going to quit? Nobody right now. An entertaining first half of football.
And it's a shame that play started on the left hash for Spear, because if it was to the wide side of the field, I think he might have been able to go the distance, but unfortunately the angle there, not there for Spear on that play.
They'll fake a same play design to Spear, but this time Allen will keep it for 3 yards to the right side. And so they really do like that runability with Spear going left, but they are exploiting that wide right side of the field, like you said, Sam.
Absolutely, and Coach Howell doing a nice job varying his play calls out of the same formations here to confuse this Devil Dog defense.
2nd and 7.
Allen, screen to Jennings on the right side. Jennings has some blockers. Jennings will get the first down. Around the right hash, he'll be at the 39-yard line.
For the Devil Dogs, Colton Sorsby, the safety, diagnosed that play from the get-go, but unfortunately for the Devil Dogs, he overran Sam Jennings on the screen. Jennings able to just sneak past him and get enough for first down yardage down to the 40-yard line of Travlers Rest for a fresh set of downs.
I believe that's the 4th or 5th screenplay to Jennings tonight, so it's very clear that the Bulldogs want to get him involved as a safety blanket for Dax Allen. First down and 10. Landon McMillan, Sam Jennings will go to the left side. There'll be Ty Miller and Mellow Mattress on the right. Allen and Spear in the backfield, side by side. Ball placed on the Travlers Rest 40. High snap. Allen has to fall on it once again. Another error with the snap coming at a misopportune time.
Third botched snap of the game for the Bulldogs offense. Not sure if that's on the center, Mason Wilson, or if that's on Dax Allen, but nevertheless a miscommunication of sorts between the two tonight. Can't quite get on the same page. It seems like these botched snaps are coming at the worst times for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. That'll cost the Bulldogs close to a minute now at 3:15. 2nd down and 13. Allen the snap. Fake screen, has a man wide open. Sam Jennings to the second level. Sam Jennings waltzes into the end zone for a touchdown. The Bulldogs respond once again, and it's the do-it-all man, Sam Jennings, into the end zone to make it 18-14. The Bulldogs respond. So just when you thought that they were dead, wow, what a play from Allen to Jennings.
Man coverage look there for the Devil Dogs defense. Allen saw that. Immediately coming off the line, Sam Jennings getting behind the near side corner in Jackson Reed. And I didn't know if Allen was going to be able to put enough on that throw to get it to Jennings, but he does, and Jennings does the rest. Probably 8 yards after the catch for the touchdown. The pendulum is swinging back and forth tonight, this time going back to the Bulldogs.
Incredible play calling on both sides. Both the Devil Dogs and Bulldogs have had some incredible play, big chunkers, like that seam pass touchdown to Riley Broderick for the Devil Dogs early, and those 2 deep balls from Dax Allen to his receivers. Love that play design there, obviously faking the screen to the left and having Jennings as a slot guy go all the way up and into the end zone. Like you said, nobody around him, completely went over the top.
Pendleton lining up to go for 2, and Travlers Rest going to use a timeout to talk things over. Bulldogs trying to make it a 6-point lead.
With the 2 missed extra points, Sam, do you think Coach Howell decides to go for 2 the rest of the way?
I would not be surprised if he decided to do that. We saw in the season before we started broadcasting these games on the radio, Pendleton liked to use the swinging gate a lot on extra points, and they were very successful going for two that season. That was the 2022 season, I believe, maybe 2023. But nevertheless, I think Coach Howe will probably stick with two-point conversions the rest of the night.
And to explain that swinging gate formation for those at home, that's when the offensive line lines up on the left side of the field as the down lineman, and it's just the center in the middle of the field with the quarterback, with certain receivers out wide. So the offensive line not guarding the quarterback at all, that provides for a lot of difficult assignments on defense, because obviously you think you want to rush the quarterback, but they found a lot of success 2 seasons ago with it, as you're able to do a lot of gadget and trick plays there. No swinging gate here on this two-point conversion attempt. It's just Allen. He'll take the snap, rolls right, tries to fire. That pass is incomplete, so no good on that two-point conversion. The score stays 18-14 in favor of the Bulldogs with 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th lead change of the game so far.
Just when one team thinks that they can stack momentum, the other team responds with an equalizing blow. This time it's the Bulldogs going 66 yards over 5 plays, which is even more impressive when you think about the fact that one of those 5 plays was a botched snap for a loss of 6 yards. The Bulldogs doing a really nice job finding explosive plays through the air tonight. Back-to-back 30-plus yard, 35-plus yard touchdown passes from Dax Allen, first to Landon McMillan, and this time to Sam Jennings. What a night for the linebacker playing quarterback.
And you can't say enough to his improvement throughout the season. Obviously thrown in there after the injury to Jackson Allman in Week 2. His passing has gotten so much better. He feels so much more comfortable with it. Obviously he still makes mistakes like that ball that slipped out of the hand for the interception early on, but the deep ball looks a lot crisper than it did, and a lot of that you can really attribute to great coaching and getting your feet wet. So squib kick away from Pendleton. Kick return taken on the right side, going into the middle. That was Riley Broderick on the return. He won't even get back to his own 20. So the Bulldogs defense goes out, and they have a chance to kind of end the back and forth and really hold the Devil Dogs to keep their team with the lead going into half.
Absolutely, and Travlers Rest with their worst starting field position of the game so far, starting on their own 17-yard line with just 3 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the first half. And David, this is a big moment for the Bulldogs defense, because if you haven't been with us since the beginning of the broadcast, Travlers Rest did receive the opening kickoff and threw an interception on the first play from scrimmage. So the Bulldogs will be receiving the opening kickoff of the second half. It'd be huge to get a stop here and take a lead into the locker room.
So direct snap to Colby Epps, the quarterback. And Epps will give it on a quick toss to the left side. It'll be a loss of 2, so nothing really doing there. That was a very interesting play design, 2 backs just hugging Epps.
And Jordan Lewis, the junior linebacker, gets credit with the tackle for loss, as he did a nice job just staying with his assignment, coming around the C-gap, actually, to make the play.
So Epps in there once again. Back to his right and back to his left. Send Preston Garreau out in motion, but flags come in immediately from both the line judge and the umpire.
False start, Travlers Rest.
False start on Travlers Rest, so the penalties this time biting the Devil Dogs.
Haven't been keeping a tally, but I think we're around 13 or 14 penalty flags so far in this game, just in the first half alone. Still 2:18 to play before halftime. The clock's still moving.
So the clock nearing the 2-minute mark. Bulldogs could try and get a stop here, use some of their timeouts to get this ball back before half. Epps will take the snap. He'll roll to his right, and Epps is absolutely blown up. Coming out of nowhere is Bradley Runyon, the linebacker with the interception on the first play of the game. That's the first time we've called his name since then, but he came flying out of nowhere to drop Epps for that sack. So a great job by Bradley Runyon, and Pendleton will use their timeout.
Runyon's breakout game was the game that you missed, Dave, against Woodmont just a few weeks ago. And while that was a tough overtime loss, I think Bradley Runyon really gained the trust of the coaching staff in that game. We've seen him get a lot more of the snap share ever since that point, and tonight already 2 huge plays with an interception and a big tackle for loss.
Runyon, the sophomore, definitely a heat seeker on this defense, as during this timeout we'll hear from more of our sponsors for a big third down coming back in.
Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. So back with it. Third down and a country mile. On their own 5, the Devil Dogs will take it out of the pistol. High snap given immediately to the left side, going nowhere. That went to Jaden Coney, the running back, and he wasn't really able to do anything with it. Got a couple maybe, but now a 4th down and very long. Pendleton will use another one of their timeouts to make sure that they have a chance to get this ball back. They should get it with really good field possession, especially with the way that Sam Jennings has been manning the return game all throughout this season. Tonight he's let a couple, hit the ground because he hasn't really had an opportunity. But with this backed up field, we could see him returning his hands for the first time all night.
And this drive has only elapsed a minute and 24 seconds off of the game clock. Before the drive, I was just saying how important it is to keep Travlers Rest out of the end zone. But now Pendleton going to have a realistic chance to add to their lead before halftime. Great use of timeout by Coach Howell. Used all 3. And now the Bulldogs will have somewhat of a chance. You'd think they'll get the ball in Travlers Rest territory. I would guess somewhere around or inside the 40-yard line, worst-case scenario. It's going to be definitely interesting to see what happens here for the Bulldogs in the final 98 seconds of the first half, leading 18-14.
Jennings lined up as the sole returner on the Travlers Rest 36-yard line. Snap is down on the ground. The punt won't even go anywhere. A little miscommunication there. That punt only went to the 17-yard line, wound up in the hands of number 16, Savion Johnson. Johnson thought the play was over, and he just sat on the ball like he thought it was completely dead and was brought down to the ground very slowly. But what a job by the Pendleton defense. That snap hit the ground in the end zone for Travlers Rest. So Pendleton, with a minute 29 to go inside the 20, they will have the ball, and they'll be ready to get things going with 17 yards for another score. This could be the first non-lead changing score of the entire game.
Yeah, like you said, the snap short hop to the punter, and then it was partially blocked. So I think that was the source of confusion for Savion Johnson, who ended up with the ball in his hands and just kind of froze. Nonetheless, advantageous situation here for the Bulldogs.
Allen takes it screen to Mattress on the left side. He'll get a couple, but again, the near side line judge throws another flag. That's his 10th of the game.
10th flag of the night for the near side line judge. Looks like it's going to be a hold against the Bulldogs. Not what you want when you're already inside the red zone. That's going to back them up, I believe, to the 27-yard line. With no timeouts, those 10 yards could be 10 big ones.
6 seconds off the clock as well. Who knows if that could be the difference.
They do put the football on the left hash at the 27-yard line, and the Bulldogs, no timeout, will have to go 27 yards to add to this lead.
First down at 20. Dax Allen back to pass. Full drop. Fires to a wide open Sam Jennings. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Sam Jennings uncovered once again. Number 4 with his second score of the night.
Sam Jennings just gets behind the second level of the defense. The 2 safeties in the back of the play just kind of froze. They were playing off coverage. I think they both assumed that the other would take Sam Jennings coming up the seam, but he was wide open. And Dave, I'm not a football player, but I think I could have made that pass and had the same result for a touchdown there for the Bulldogs.
Allen to Jennings to make it 24-14 as the extra point again is no good. That's the third one missed tonight.
Wide to the right.
Sprayberry.
Wide to the right for the third consecutive time. Sprayberry's been very consistent all season for the most part, other than a few blocks here and there. But all of a sudden, those 4 points, pretty big in this situation because the Bulldogs 4 touchdowns tonight for only 24 points. You should have a 28-14 lead, 14 points, 2 touchdowns. But now just a 10-point lead, 24-14. That is a big difference.
It's a huge difference. That's 2 touchdowns to a touchdown and a field goal. Very frustrating for the coaching staff for sure, but don't let that take away from an unbelievable play from Dax Allen to Sam Jennings. Jennings was completely uncovered. That had to be blown by the defense there. That's the second time that they've lost him. I don't know. He's not the biggest guy in the bunch, but he's definitely a huge weapon for this Bulldogs offense. Has gone uncovered, slipped through the cracks twice for big plays over the top. 2 scores. Number 4.
Yeah, like I said, 2 defensive backs for the Devil Dogs just kind of looking at each other after the play like, dude, I thought you were gonna get him. I didn't catch the number of the other guy, but number 9, Jackson Reed, one of the culprits there on that last play, and the Bulldogs will certainly take it as there's a flag on the kickoff.
Sprayberry with a short kick to the right side, flag immediately thrown. There'll be a false start on the kickoff unit of Pendleton. So the special teams unit, which has been pretty consistently bright through the entire season, struggling tonight. A lot of procedurals on both sides of offense for the Devil Dogs and the Bulldogs. But the special teams unit with a couple of missed kicks and now that false start, definitely not what we're used to seeing from them.
Now the Bulldogs will back up and kick it from the 35-yard line here with 1:17 to play in the first half.
Thank you so much for joining us on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio.
Another flag.
As there's another flag, and the exact same procedural penalty is going to be called on the kickoff. How often do you ever see that? How often do you ever see a flag on the kickoff from the kicking team?
And, David, that is our 16th flag of the first half. Just unbelievable, possibly record-setting performance tonight by the officials.
I don't know. It's battling that Powdersville from a couple of weeks ago. The kicking team so rarely called for penalties in special teams. I believe the stat is 98% of penalties in the National Football League are called on the receiving team in those situations. But now the Bulldogs backed up even more. The returners for the Devil Dogs lined up on the 27 and 22-yard line. It'll be returned by Jaden Coney on the right. Coney will get some space. Coney will cut up inside the numbers, and he'll go to the 46-yard line.
He decided to cut inside. I think if he would have bounced it to the outside, he might have had the chance to take it the distance. But a nice job to rally by the kickoff unit of the Bulldogs, who are playing from their own 30-yard line on the third attempted kick. They do make the tackle at the Travlers Rest 45-yard line. The ball will be put on the right hash there with 1:11 to play.
111's on the scoreboard, a good omen for the Devil Dogs. Have the ball on their own 45. Advantageous field position to start. Colby Epps, quarterback.
2 timeouts in the pocket of head coach Chris Goodman for the Devil Dogs as well.
Pistol set, Preston Garreau, the running back in the backfield. Epps drops back to pass, pump fakes, has to keep it himself, will break some tackles, will get a couple tripped up right at midfield.
Forced Nate Wells to miss the initial tackle around the line of scrimmage and then fell forward for a gain of about 6.
And then a timeout called by the Devil Dogs. So under the 1-minute mark, 59 seconds exactly on the clock. We'll hear from a couple more of our sponsors as the Devil Dogs talk it over in this final drive of the first half.
Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs. For help with real estate, wills, probate, or your small business, go see West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton. They're as tough and quick on your legal needs as the Bulldogs on a Friday night. Go to westcoxlaw.com after tonight's victory party to make your appointment.
Back with you, Sam Gaudreau, David Poley. 2nd down and 5 for the Devil Dogs, right on the 50. 59 seconds to go on the clock. Colby Epps fires downfield, incomplete. His target receiver was number 0, Riley Broderick. Caught the first touchdown of the game for the Devil Dogs.
Also in the area on the play was another receiver, Cooper Blake. Had 2 receivers to the same, probably 5 square yards on the play. Interesting concept there, looking to make a deep connection down the field. Ball is harmlessly incomplete for the Devil Dogs to set up a 3rd and 5.
Shot play on 2nd down. A crucial 3rd down. Seems to be 4-down territory. Double set, that pistol formation. Colby Epps has Preston Garreau with him. Epps drops back to pass. They'll go to the right side again, and this one's caught. That's number 7, Cooper Blake. You mentioned him, Sam. There he comes up big.
A really nice throw by Epps. Thought that Runyon was going to have a chance to make a play on the football, but a nice layered throw by Epps to get it over Runyon into the hands of Cooper Blake for the 1st down.
So ball now on the Pendleton 38. Pressure comes. Epps fires deep. That ball is caught!
They're going to call OPI, I believe, on the play. Savion Johnson pushed in the back. And that is going to be the call. That's a big one.
Wow.
Called by the near sideline judge.
So that ball was caught at around the 5-yard line. A big play as number 22, Kamari Reeves, went up and got that one. But he did push off Savion Johnson, like you mentioned. That one will, luckily for the Bulldogs, come back.
And that's a big swing as you talk about having the football inside Pendleton's 15 for the Devil Dogs, and now they're going to back up, back into their own territory near where they started the drive, all the way back at their own 46-yard line. A huge call in this game.
So a big-time yardage switch-up for the Devil Dogs now, operating inside their own territory once again. 34 seconds on the clock. Trips to the left. Epps back to pass. Epps will try to fire deep, but he's brought down. Great job by number 50, Michael Dixon, from the left side with that sack. Clock will tick away, and the Devil Dogs will just let that one run out most likely.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case. A nice job by Michael Dixon defeating his block and blindsiding the quarterback Epps, who was setting up to throw deep. That sack is indeed going to be the final play of the 1st half, with the Bulldogs leading on the road at Travlers Rest 24-14.
Michael Dixon's sack will send us into the break. Pendleton looking to make it 7 straight wins against Travlers Rest, and in the 16th meeting all-time, take the lead in the series. At halftime, we'll hear from Sam Gaudreau, and he spoke with seniors Matthew Cooper and Grayson Wynn. Sam, take it away.
Sam Gaudreau back with you in another feature of our Senior Spotlight interview series. Today we're visiting with senior wide receiver and long snapper Matthew Cooper. Matthew, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So first off, Matthew, how long have you been playing football?
Since 9th grade.
And has that all come at Pendleton?
Yes, sir.
So just to start off, just tell me a little bit about what it's meant to you to be part of this program for all 4 years.
It's meant a lot. I've really been able to grow as a person more and as an athlete. The coaches helped me a lot. Everyone's very nice. They're all supportive, and they've just helped me grow as a player.
Absolutely, and obviously Coach Howell, as the head coach, gets a lot of the recognition and the praise as he should. But who are some of the other assistant coaches that have really meant a lot to you throughout your journey?
There's two. One is Coach Williams. He's helped me a lot, and Coach Leopard.
What have they helped you with?
Coach Leopard has helped me learn to play more defense and be more physical, and Coach Williams has helped me with a lot of route running, how to learn the plays, and that's about it. But they've helped me a lot.
That's awesome, man. Throughout this season, you guys have had some ups and downs, some exciting games. What's something that's stuck out in your mind so far about this season that's been a memory that you'll cherish for a long time?
So a memory that I've cherished is when I snapped the ball. I went straight down there and just got the tackle.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then also playing receiver, what's it been like with your quarterback Jackson Allman going down early on and then seeing Dax Allen step in at quarterback coming over from the defense?
It's been really tough, but Dax has been doing really well. He has made a lot of explosive plays, and he's been leading our offense really well.
Yeah, absolutely. As a senior, I'm sure you've made a lot of great friendships over the years with your teammates. Who are some of the guys that you would say you're closest to on the team?
Some of our offensive line, Mason Wilson, defensive line, Ethan Rexroth, another long snapper, Gavin Yeomans, and some wide receivers like Sam Jennings, Mellow Mattress, and yeah.
That's great. I like to ask all the guys I interview about this. What are some of the things you like to do on game day just to get yourself locked in, get your mind ready to play in a game each and every Friday night?
I like to watch a lot of highlights of people. I like to watch Kayvon Austin's highlights. I like to just zone in, lock in, and just get ready to play.
Absolutely. Is there any music you listen to? If so, like what kind of music do you listen to on game days?
A lot of like NBA YoungBoy, a lot of like rap music just to get us locked in.
Yeah, for sure. And then outside of football, what are some of the things that you like to do in your free time?
I also play baseball for Pendleton, and I've learned a lot from that too, of how to be a better teammate, of how to work well with other people.
So what position do you play in baseball?
I am primarily outfielder, but I pitch and I can play third base.
What are some of your favorite memories from playing baseball, whether that be growing up or just for Pendleton these last 4 years?
Best memory is probably hitting the 2 home runs and probably hawking the one ball that I probably shouldn't have been able to, but I got to it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What are some of the skills you've learned in football or baseball that have translated to the other sport, if that makes sense?
Skills are probably, from what I've learned from football that's transferred to baseball, is probably working on breaking more, because when you're playing football, you got to, like, say if I'm running like a curl, I got to break down and do that. And in baseball, it's helped me a lot to, like, break and get the ball. And another one is probably when I play defense is hawking the ball down, and that really helps me with baseball. So,
are you a sports fan at all? Do you have any favorite teams?
For college, it's the Texas Longhorns, and for MLB, it's Rangers, and NFL, it's Cowboys.
So you're going with all the Texas teams. How did that come to fruition?
Well, over the past few years, it's been really well because the Rangers won the World Series. Texas has made the playoffs, but the Cowboys, they're just rough.
Yeah, what was your reaction to Micah Parsons getting traded away from the Cowboys?
I mean, I really didn't like it because he was one of our best defensive players. Now we have I know we just picked up a new guy from. I can't remember his name or where he came from, but I know we just picked up a new guy.
Yeah, I think the defensive tackle from Green Bay is who y'all got back in the trade, so that's one of the guys. Also, with the Sunday night football game against the Packers ending in a tie, that's not something you see every day. What were your thoughts after that game?
I mean, it was a good game. It was 40-40, high-scoring game. Just, I don't think we played how we should have. I think we should have been more explosive on offense. And since we got George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, I think we should have been more explosive.
Just a couple more as we continue to visit with Matthew Cooper on the Senior Spotlight interview series. Matthew, do you know what your plans are after high school yet?
I'd like to go to college and long snap.
That's awesome. Do you have an idea as to what you'd like to study?
Electrical engineering.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Last one, is there anything that you'd like to be remembered for as you finish up your career as a Bulldog, just by the Bulldog fans? What's something that you'd like to be remembered for?
I'd like to be remembered as a great teammate, a leader, and just all-around good person.
Absolutely. All those qualities are things that we see throughout the Bulldog football program. That's going to wrap us up with senior football player Matthew Cooper. Matthew, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Sam Goodrow back with you with the next of our Senior Spotlight interview series. Tonight we're visiting with senior football player number 18, Grayson Wynn. Grayson, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
Doing awesome. So good to speak with you. First off, Grayson, how long have you been playing football?
I've been playing a good bit of my life. I played, around the neighborhood in the backyard when I was little. I just loved football from a very young age. I played a little rec ball as a kid, but I didn't really get my career going until like freshman year.
Absolutely. And did you grow up in the Pendleton area?
No, I actually grew up in the Palmetto area. That's where I went to high school all the way up into my senior year, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so this is your first year with the Bulldog program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how has that been, just coming over from Palmetto and just getting embraced by a new community and a new set of teammates, set of coaches? Just what has that process been like for you so far?
It was actually a lot quicker than I expected. I love my teammates at Pendleton. It didn't take me long for me to, get close to some of my teammates. And, I just love it over there. They run a great program, and I was just, happy to finally be a part of it.
Absolutely. Who are some of the guys that have become some of your good friends on the team this year?
Well, I got to definitely put a spotlight on my boy, Mikey Harrison. I love that guy. That's my guy. That's like one of the first guys I talked to on the team. Dax is one guy, too. Dax is just a great locker room guy. JT, Q, Zai, just all great guys. I just kind of talking around. Deshaun, old D1, one of our backs. Love him, bro. He's a goat for real. Sam is a great one, too. Sam's just a good dude. So, I just love, playing over there and just talking to those guys. Nate Wells is another one, too. I can't forget about him. So he's one of my close guys from over there. So, I just love being over there.
That's awesome. Sounds like you've made friends with a lot of the guys so far. Who are some of the coaches other than Coach Howell that have made an impact on you in your short time at Pendleton so far?
Coach Skelly, man. I love Coach Skelly. That's my dog. I talk to him almost all the practices. He's probably one of the coaches that I got close to pretty quickly. I just talked to him about everything over there, football-wise, And, he's just a good dude. I love Coach Skelly. And Coach Moody. Coach Moody's good. I love every week we talk about fantasy football and everything, So just love those guys, those coaches. They definitely mean a lot to me, and they definitely didn't take them very long.
That's awesome, man. And what was it like this past Friday to just get a couple series at quarterback against Carolina Academy?
It was definitely what's the word? At least from my point of view, it's definitely not. I expected it, but at the same time, I didn't expect it. I obviously haven't seen the field much this whole year, so to finally get out there, it definitely meant a lot to me. But also, I had them little, first drive jitters and everything, just trying to get everything out of me. I wanted to show something. I wanted prove something. So I'm just, I was just happy to get out there, make a few plays, and, try to do what I can out there.
Yeah, for sure. And then just going back to that first play that you were stepping out onto the field, just what was going through your head? I know you said you wanted to make an impact, but especially like you said with the first game jitters or whatever, what was kind of going through your head? What were you telling yourself as you were breaking the huddle that first play?
Just stay calm and do what you can do. I've been out on the field working many times, and I've thrown 50 yards, so I just got to stay confident in myself. Just don't let anything get to me. Just play my game. That was really what I wanted to do and what I tried to do.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. On game days, is there anything you do, any routine you have that you do to just get your mind right before a game?
As soon as walkthroughs in, I just get my headphones and just, try to zone out a little bit. I listen to a lot of music, just try to, get my head in the right, space for whoever we're gearing up for, just try to chill out, just kind of let everything around me just slowly dissipate and just kind of be in my own world for a little while.
Absolutely. And what are some of the kinds of music that you like to listen to?
I listen to a lot of rap and rock. I have a little mix on my Spotify that I just listen to. It's got all my songs that, would get me hyped, ready to run somebody over. So, just anything that can just get me in the zone, that's really what I listen to.
That's awesome. Continuing to visit with Grayson Wynn on our Senior Spotlight interview series. Grayson, what are some of your hobbies off the field?
I would say I play a lot of video games. I play a good bit of college football, a good bit of Madden, a good bit of MLB The Show. I just, it's just another way to just get in my own world, just zone out. I just, play the game for a long time, and I just hang out with, most of my friends too. I just like being around them. I just like being around friends, and just kind of just hang out and everything. That's really just my thing.
Are you a PlayStation or an Xbox guy?
PlayStation guy, actually. I'm on my PS5 a lot. I love that thing.
Yeah, that was the correct answer. Who's your favorite team to play with on College Football 26?
Well, I might get called a bandwagon, but I've grown up a Georgia fan. I just love playing with my dogs. It's hard to shy away from my dogs. I love them.
Have you been a Georgia fan your whole life?
Yeah, I was born into a Georgia family, thank God, and, got 2 national championships out of it. So, I love it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. You got any professional teams that you support in any sports?
I kind of keep it in the Georgia area. I'm a big Falcons guy. I like watching the Falcons, but I work a lot of Sundays, so I don't get to watch many games, but I like keeping up with the Falcons.
Oh yeah, I'm a Falcons and Braves fan as well, so it's been exciting to see Penix and London and all those guys on offense kind of break out a little bit this season. Who's your favorite player on the Falcons?
Right now I got to show love to my boy Bijan. I love Bijan. I was so happy when we drafted him, but I can't forget about old Georgia boy on the defense, Jalen Walker. I loved watching him at Georgia, especially that game at Texas last year. It was just electric, man. I was so happy to see him get drafted to Atlanta, stay home and everything. So it's just good to watch him. I love watching Jalen Walker.
No doubt. And getting back to the football field, obviously you've only been with Pendleton for a short time, but what's your favorite memory so far, either during a game or just with your teammates or something of that nature?
I would say I got a good few. Personally, just being on my own was getting back up after I took a big hit on the screen against Carolina Academy, because I know that hurt. And the ground isn't soft, if anyone wanted to know. So getting back up from that was definitely a good memory. I was like, well, I'm definitely not bulletproof, but I can still keep moving. But getting that shutout win against Keenan was probably great. Just everyone rallying around, just keeping going, and we just played shutout defense that whole game, and I definitely have to give it to our defense on that one.
Absolutely. And then last one for Grayson Wynn as we conclude our Senior Spotlight interview with Grayson. What are your plans after graduating high school, Grayson?
I've always wanted to, play football after high school, but, as I kind of watch how everything goes, it's a lot harder than a lot of people think. So, I definitely want to get into teaching, though. I want to teach high school history. I'll maybe coach a little bit, too, but I definitely want to teach. That's definitely my goal in the future, is just to go teach in a high school.
That's an awesome goal. We can't wait to see how the rest of this season plays out for you and for the Bulldogs. Grayson, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, man.
That's going to wrap us up on our Senior Spotlight interview series with Grayson Wynn. Stay tuned for coverage of the third quarter.
Rogers Petroleum halftime show. We just had our senior spotlight with Matthew Cooper and Grayson Wynn, interviewed by Sam. Did a great job with that. But we've got a game here, folks, in Travlers Rest, South Carolina. Your Pendleton Bulldogs lead 24-14 on homecoming night for the home team, Travlers Rest Devil Dogs. Here's how it happened. First play of the game, Travlers Rest had the ball, and quarterback for the Devil Dogs, number 3, Colby Epps, threw an interception to Bradley Runyon. The Bulldogs then turned that into a 3-play drive to go up 6-0 after a mixed extra point. Then the Devil Dogs took the lead 7-6 a couple drives later on a big-time shot play from Epps to Riley Broderick up the seam to make it 7-6. The Bulldogs answered a little bit later with Dax Allen rolling out to his left on a 4th down and 21, firing all the way to the end zone, 35-plus yards to make it 12-7. But that would not be for long, as immediately the Devil Dogs answered with an 85-yard kickoff return by Preston Garreau, number 2, to go up 14-12. The game was going back and forth. Then it had its 5th lead change of the night. A huge touchdown pass from quarterback Dax Allen of the Pendleton Bulldogs to Sam Jennings to go up 18-14, and he did it again. Those same 2 guys a couple of plays later to make it 24-14. A couple of mixed extra points that lead us to that score, as it should be 28-14, but 3 missed extra points and a missed 2-point conversion, a failed 2-point conversion. Leave it 24-14. Still have a couple minutes left here at halftime. Sam, give me some of your thoughts on this first half of the game. Obviously, the Bulldogs have the lead, but it's been pretty crazy. It's been filled with penalties and mistakes, and it's been back and forth.
Yes, I've got to give a shout-out to the offensive support staff and the coaches on offense for the Bulldogs. Obviously did their homework on this Travlers Rest defense, and especially the secondary. I feel like they've really exploited the weaknesses on the back end of the Devil Dogs. We've seen a lot of receivers running open behind the defense tonight. Sam Jennings a couple times. We saw Landon McMillan get behind the defense at one point in the game. I just think they've done a really good job schematically setting Dax Allen up for success on these throws. I think the story of the game, Dax Allen, the converted linebacker, 4 passing touchdowns in the first half, all 4 of Pendleton's scores. It's going to be really interesting to see if Travlers Rest is able to make an adjustment to that, shore up the back end. Another storyline, we see Brody Sprayberry and some other special teamers practicing some extra points after the 3 missed extra points. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if Pendleton sticks with the aerial attack, or now that they have a 10-point lead, multiple scores, it'll be interesting to see if they try to establish that run game with Bray Spear and with Deshaun Jenkins, which we saw on that drive where they were running each of them for a few carries at a time. We saw them move down the field pretty efficiently until penalties derailed the drive. So kind of spitballing all my thoughts at once there, but that's what I thought about the first half.
Jenkins and Spear both looked great, had flashes at times. Allen, of course, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception in the air. The Bulldogs offense wowed in the first half. They will look to move 3-3 as TR looks to rally. Both teams trying to get to 500. Pendleton will enter region play next week. So speaking of that, Sam, what are some of the biggest high school football scores in 3A in this region and also around the state?
Yeah, so like you said, we'll start off in the region next week. Pendleton going on the road to continue this road trip to face the Walhalla Razorbacks, and Walhalla facing region opponents, the Crescent Tigers, in Ivy, South Carolina right now. Crescent leading that one at halftime, 46-13. On the other hand, you have West Oak on the road at Belton Honeypath. That one at halftime, BHP, number 5 team in 3A, 49-0 over West Oak at the half. West Oak obviously not one of the football powers in the Greenville metro area of South Carolina. Some other scores, number 3 Dorman dominating number 14 Boiling Springs, 24-0. See Chesney, our week 0 opponent, with a 21-6 lead over Blacksburg. West Side leading South Side 34-0 in the second quarter. Burns High School leading Riverside 21-7, approaching halftime. The Seneca Bobcats on Max Preps, it says 14-7, but the local beat reporter that I have tweet notifications on for says at halftime the Bobcats lead the Blue Ridge Tigers 34-7, so a nice bounce-back spot for the Bobcats after the tough loss at the hands of their rival, the Daniel Lions, last week. Greenwood, number 6 in the state, leads 20-3 over Malden. Carolina Academy last week facing the Bulldogs this week. They're hosting the Palmetto. They're hosting Palmetto and trailing 21-0.
Palmetto could get the first win of the season. 0-5 going to Carolina Academy in what seemed to be a turnaround season for Carolina Academy. The Trojans now just completely going away, allowing 0-5 Palmetto to lead them 21-0. Wow. What are some other scores we got, Sam?
Another top 10 matchup. Hillcrest hosting TL Hanna. Hillcrest, the number 10 team in the state. TL Hanna, number 4. TL Hanna leads 26-7 in that one at halftime. Gaffney, the number 1 team, leading Eastside 26-16 at halftime. I believe Eastside was actually defeated by Carolina Academy for one of their 2 wins of the season. Were they not?
It was Westside, I think. Westside.
No, it definitely wasn't Westside.
It wasn't Westside? Let me check that.
One of the sides.
Might be
maybe North Side, South Side. One of the
see
sides.
What it was.
Side. Powdersville over Southside Christian 3-0 at the half. Spartanburg leading 14-0 over Wade Hampton.
So Eastside beat Carolina Academy 61-8.
Oh, okay.
Southside, they beat Southside.
Okay, there we go.
You got one of the sides.
It was one of the sides, man. So it looks like Woodruff 28-14 over Broome. I think that's just about it in the area of interest. Actually, Woodmont leading JL Mann, number 17 team in the state, 21-13 at the half. Clinton also 21-6 over Liberty at the half. That is your look at scores around high school football in upstate South Carolina. We are inching closer to the third quarter of action between the Pendleton Bulldogs and the Travlers Rest Devil Dogs. Pendleton out to a 24-14 lead after Dax Allen threw 4 first-half passing touchdowns.
That'll conclude the halftime, sponsored by Rogers Petroleum Incorporated, as both teams will look to get back out there on the field. The Bulldogs lead 24-14. Thank you so much for listening to us on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio. This is Pendleton Bulldogs football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse. I want to take a time to thank all of our wonderful sponsors: Lanes on Exchange, Rogers Petroleum Incorporated, Guy's Pizza, Black Dive Anderson, Pendleton Historic Foundation, Getting Chili Ice Cream Truck, Wes Cox, Attorney at Law, Liberty Hall Bed and Breakfast, Foothills Community Church, Crenshaws, Tiger Express Wash, United Community Bank, Mac.Bid, and Absolute Law Firm. You hear the horn ring.
Here we go.
Fans get back into the stands here at Travlers Rest. The home team, Devil Dogs, trail by 10 points. They'll kick it away, and the Bulldogs will have a chance to milk some clock to start the second half. 9 o'clock on the dot. We're back with you. Excited for this second half of football. If it's anything like the first, it sure will be a treat. To kick it away is Preston Garreau. Boots it. Couple Pendleton returners back. That's caught by Jace Harrison Whitner. Harrison Whitner, we've seen him with some returns this year. Had a great one there, past the 40. So Dax Allen and company will start the ball on their own 43-yard line.
Great return by Whitner. Could have been even better, but he ran into the back of his blocker, Sam Jennings, on the play, fellow return man. Nonetheless, a great return and great starting field position for the opening drive of the second half here for the Bulldogs.
So Allen, a career high in passing touchdowns tonight. Bulldogs have run the football effectively. Right now they come out and empty. They motion Sam Jennings from right to left. They give it to him on a little bubble screen. Pass is incomplete, intended for Jennings. Could even be a fumble if the ball was behind the line of scrimmage. That's what it looks like on the field. It looks like it's a fumble. Player scrumming for it back at like the 32. And they say that Travlers Rest has the football.
I thought that was pretty clearly a forward pass. We do not have replay in high school football, obviously. So it's going to be to the discretion of the officials. And it seems like for now they're conferencing about it. The initial call, I believe, was Travlers Rest ball.
It seemed like a forward pass as that ball was out in front of Sam Jennings, but did they call that it was still behind the original line of his throwing plane from Dax Allen? Officials conferencing at the 30-yard line.
Wow.
Travlers Rest football. So what a parallel from the first half in the other direction. First play of the game, Travlers Rest turned it over. First play of the second half, Pendleton turns it over.
And just like that, 58 seconds into the second half, you've got one of those pendulum swings, this time swinging from Pendleton, the momentum over to Travlers Rest. And Travlers Rest immediately takes over at the Pendleton 32-yard line.
So the Devil Dogs there lined up in that traditional under-center formation. We saw in the first half, it was a lot of pistol, a lot of spread. But they are traditionally an option team lined up there to do that and call for a procedural right off that. Not what you want. Immediately. Oh, they'll call offsides on Pendleton, actually. So it'll be first down and 5.
First penalty flag of the second half, but the 18th so far in this game.
Wow. So the Devil Dogs look pretty content to come out here and line up a little tighter to the football. It's quarterback number 3, Colby Epps. He's under center. There's a fullback with him. Back is Jaden Coney, I believe.
Handoff goes to number 21, Jaden Coney.
Handoff goes to Coney. Coney up the middle. Coney inside the 10. Coney inside the 5. Tackled short of the end zone. But Jaden Coney does a great job of getting inside the 5, making a spin, breaking some tackles, and all of a sudden the Devil Dogs are knocking on the door.
This is the type of football I expect to see all night from this Devil Dogs offense. What I saw against the Seneca Bobcats just a few short weeks ago, getting back to their identity, which is power football, running the ball.
And the lineup in the same formation. Coney again will get the handoff. This time blown up immediately. Fisher Sailors met him at the point of attack.
That was number 21.
Stood him up immediately.
Fisher Sailors, like you said, just blew up that play all by himself. Travlers Rest trying to get back to the A-gap. Fisher Sailors says, no, sir.
So first down was immediately blown up. It'll be second down and goal from the 6-yard line. Again, they're under center. It's Epps. Epps gives to the fullback. Can't exactly see who that was, but he'll get 2 yards.
He actually faked the handoff to the fullback and kept it himself.
Wow, so great job keeping the football close to the chest there. Big fullback down in there. Third down and goal from the 2-yard line. Huge opportunity for the Devil Dogs. This game has been a case of really crazy plays happening at the most unlikely times, because right when you feel like there's a momentum switch, there's another one. You try to predict one, you end up getting 2. It's felt like, penalties, improper uses of the snaps have then been followed up by big touchdowns or turnovers. Now, third down and goal. Epps under center. He'll actually take it himself, try and sneak to the left side. He'll get the touchdown. So Epps gets into the end zone, and the Devil Dogs have joined the Bulldogs in the 20s. 24-20, your score pending the extra point. Great job by Colby Epps, just staying tight to in between his center and left guard, pushing in there for the touchdown.
Caps off a 4-play, 32-yard drive after disaster strikes on the first play from scrimmage for the Bulldogs. The extra point is blocked.
So a great job by the Bulldogs special teams unit getting around the edges. They blocked that kick, so return one of their own misfortunes right back to the Devil Dogs. That's how it usually ends up happening in high school football. 3 missed extra points tonight for the Bulldogs. Devil Dogs now have a kick blocked. So it's 24-20 with the Devil Dogs responding. With under 9 minutes to play, we'll hear from some of our sponsors as we look forward to the Bulldogs getting the kick return.
Attention, ghost hunters. Imagine it's dark and you're being led by candlelight through a 200-year-old haunted plantation home. Sound scary? Sound fun? Don't miss your chance to be part of this once-a-year only event. Visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org and purchase tickets to the wildly popular Pendleton Ghost Tours. Limited tickets will be sold, not for the faint of heart, and no one under 17 will be admitted. Call John at 864-646-7249 or visit www.pendletonhistoricfoundation.org today. Pendleton Historic Foundation, preserving and interpreting Pendleton's history. Go Bulldogs.
Back with you, David Poley, Sam Gaudreau, 8:56 remaining. The Travlers Rest Devil Dogs just scored to cut the lead to 4, and it's an onside kick now, received cleanly by Pendleton. Wow, great job by number 13, Landon McMillan. The hands team just getting quick to the ground. Ball took a funky bounce off of a hop, but McMillan on it. So a surprise onside kick from the Devil Dogs, trying to get some field position back with momentum by their side. But now the Bulldogs have great field position, trying to score their first points of the second half.
And if you're both a Clemson Tiger fan and a Pendleton Bulldogs fan, I'm sure the words surprise onside kick brought back some poor memories, but thankfully Landon McMillan does a better job than the Tigers did against Syracuse and falls on the football.
Dax Allen, quarterback power to the right side. Won't get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a gain about 1. Ray Spear, the running back, tried to block for him, but Allen unable to get any leverage outside. It'll be a second down and a gain about half a yard. Call it second down and 10. Double formation, receivers stacked left and right. Handoff goes to Spear. Spear cuts it to the right side, up the seam. Spear tries to break some tackles inside the 35.
The offensive line doing a really nice job getting some push for Spear. Spear patiently running behind the right side of his offensive line. The Bulldogs trying to go up tempo now.
Quick back to the line of scrimmage off the first down. Same formation. Give it to Spear once again. Spear will do exactly what he did before. Not as big of a gain, but a gain of about 7. Trying to truck a couple Devil Dogs off him, shaking him at the end.
It's good to see Bray Spear continue to be patient as he navigates the holes that his offensive line is providing. A lot of times you see guys get sped up, get hit unnecessarily. Not the case for Spear. He's been very patient on the last 2 runs. The Bulldogs' offense has benefited greatly.
We talked about it a little bit pregame, but Jaden Wilson returning on the offensive line for Pendleton. They appear to have really created holes and stuck on blocks very well, more than they did even so 2 weeks ago. So that return of Wilson definitely showing to help the offensive line as a whole with one of their leaders back in the saddle.
Yeah, and it's great to continue to get healthy as the Bulldogs look to wrap up the non-region slate of the schedule tonight here against the Devil Dogs. We're looking to get to 500 as we outlined in the pregame show. Big start to the region slate next week at Walhalla.
Would be huge to ride a winning streak at 500 after a 1-3 start into region play. Second down and 5 now. Dax Allen fakes off the jet to Bray Spear, takes it himself to the left. He'll get 3 yards. It'll be a third down and 4.
Memphis Clark on the stop there for Travlers Rest. I really like the play design for Pendleton. Fakes the give to Spear on the sweep to the right. Fire defense went with him except for Memphis Clark, who made the open field tackle on the play.
So this big third down, Allen takes it himself to the left side, goes head first, contact with the defender, takes him to the ground. So Dax Allen showing that linebacker mentality. He's able to take it for a first down, but a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. No good for the Bulldogs. That'll take away that game of first down.
We're going to get Bray Spear with a hold. I thought it was a really nice block. Thought he had his hands inside the shoulder pad. The linebacker coming from the weak side. So unfortunately, the officials did not agree. That's our 20th flag of the evening.
Hit the 20 mark with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this third quarter. Haven't even reached the fourth. 20 flags thrown, score 24-20 in favor of the Bulldogs. Now a third down and 14. After a run by Dax Allen would have picked up the first down and moved the chains for the Bulldogs. Trips right now. Spear in the backfield with Allen. Allen Takes the handoff to Spear. Allen will take it himself. Allen has some space to the left side, but will not be able to get all of it.
Number 2, Dex Allen on the keeper.
Allen got about 6. It'll be a 4th down at about 5, and Coach Grayson Howell has a decision to make here.
Nice play by Xavier Hagerman. Thought Allen might have some running room on the near sideline. Hagerman does a nice job making the stop. The offense staying out on the field ahead of this 4th and 9 from the Travlers Rest 31.
So they call it a gain of 5. 4th down and 9. Trips to the left, short side of the field. Allen takes the snap. Back to pass. Rush coming. Allen evades. Throws it incomplete over the head of Landon Millen. And that'll be a turnover on down. So the Devil Dogs coming out firing on all cylinders in this second half. They get the ball back after forcing the turnover on downs for the Bulldogs.
6-play drive for the Bulldogs. 34 yards down to the Travlers Rest 31-yard line.
$500 worth of prizes, you got it?
Fortunately, stalls out.
Blue ticket, here you go. 2.
So with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left, halfway through the third quarter, Travlers Rest has the ball with an opportunity to go down and score, take the lead. They line up in that I formation. Epps will give it on a toss to Coney. He drops it. Jaden Coney drops the ball, but he's able to get back on top of it. What could be a near another fumble would have been the 3rd fumble of the game.
Bryson Chambers, the left tackle, bailing out the running back there, falling on the football. Could have been disastrous for Travlers Rest, but now just no game. That brings up 2nd and 10.
This game avoids another turnover as Coney was able to get back to the line. They go back into the I. Hands it off straight to Coney. He's getting a couple there. Gain of about 4. It'll be a 3rd down and 6.
Injured Devil Dog lineman on the play. He's helped to his feet. He's going to, actually not a lineman. That's actually Preston Garreau, the injured Devil Dog, and he will jog off the field under his own power with a little bit of a limp.
Garreau will be replaced by Xavier Hagerman. He'll come in. Head coach for the Devil Dogs, Chris Goodman, talking with officials. This is his 2nd season at Travlers Rest, 3-11 overall record. Looking to bring his team for the first time to 500.
Okay, time out.
3rd down and 6. Colby Epps, the quarterback for the Devil Dogs. Jaden Coney in the field. Bulldogs lined up. It went like to a 4-3. Bulldogs always 3 down, 1 up on the defensive line. And a man in motion. Epps drops back to pass. Epps will not be able to get anywhere. Fisher Sailors gets him down at the line of scrimmage, so they could call that one a sack. Sailors does a great job of tracking the quarterback the whole way, bringing him down at exactly where he started.
Both Sailors and Nate Wells, 2 of the 3 down linemen on the play, really got off the football in an explosive fashion and were just surrounding Colby Epps immediately. Doing a really nice job as a team in the trenches right now for the defensive line.
The Devil Dogs punt unit will come out there. This will be their 2nd time punting today. They have a shield punt formation with 3 in front of the punter. Sam Jennings back to receive. A knuckler to Jennings in front of him will stop at the 40. And that'll be downed by a Devil Dog right there. So the Bulldogs avoid having to deal for the consequences of their own mistake on the last drive. Defense keeps them off scot-free. Sam Jennings not returning that one there. His offense will get back out there under the leadership of quarterback Dax Allen. They have the lead 24-20 with 4 minutes left to go in this third quarter.
Really important drive for the Bulldogs, not only to milk some of this clock, but also to extend this 4-point lead. Would be huge to get a touchdown on this drive to extend to 2 scores.
Handoff goes to Deshaun Jenkins. Jenkins will get close to the midfield logo. Gain of about 6 yards on the inside zone of Jenkins.
Just a handful of carries tonight for Jenkins, but he's been pretty productive in the few carries he has.
Trips left. Allen takes the snap, gives it to Jenkins once again. Jenkins avoids some early pressure. Jenkins able to get the first down, but a flag in the backfield.
I think that's going to come back on a hold. Actually, no, they're going to say a low block against the defense. So likely going to add 15 yards to the end of that run. That's a huge difference if that is indeed the case.
Shot block's such a volatile call in high school football. Wanting to make sure nobody's going too low in the order to preserve the safety of the players at this level.
Personal foul.
It's going to be that personal foul, exactly as Sam said, against the defense. That'll move the Pendleton chains and put them past midfield into Travlers Rest territory. Ball will be placed at the TR40. So the Bulldogs now, thanks to the penalty, chipping away. Allen fakes the give to Jenkins. He'll power it himself. Spins off the defender. First down marker. Defenders can't drag him down on their own, and 5 are finally able to bring him down inside of the 30. Dax Allen, a man on a mission.
Impressive play there from Allen. Fouled the convoy of Corday Chapman and James Buchanan. Just right up the A-gap. Able to move the chains again for about a 15-yard gain.
Back to the line. First down and 10. Allen, blown up play there. Jenkins was supposed to come inside, and Allen tried to fake it to him, but Jenkins was splitting out to the right side. Allen held the ball and was like, where is my running back? Couldn't find anybody, had to take it himself. Was able to get a yard out of it, shockingly.
Yeah, definitely some miscommunication there. Jenkins voicing his frustration probably with himself to the sideline, and Bray Spear going to come in his relief.
Spear to spell Jenkins. Trips left. Allen takes the snap. Fires right side. Pass is caught. That's Mellow Mattress. Mattress spins off defender. Mattress into the end zone for a touchdown. Bulldogs hit the 30-point marker. Quick pitch and catch from Ben Salma Jordan to Mellow Mattress, who breaks off a tackle and runs to make it 30-20 in favor of the Pendleton Bulldogs.
Caps off a 5-play, 60-yard drive for the Bulldogs. Going to try another extra point, but we do have a change at place kicker. Alex Whitman, the freshman, going to try to add the extra point now for the Bulldogs.
Whitman, also a quarterback, puts that one through the uprights. So a low line drive kick, just the job, and Ty Miller accidentally tackles his new kicker, Alex Whitman. They're so excited about that. Pendleton goes up 31-20 after Dax Allen's 5th touchdown pass of the evening.
Yeah, and on that play, it was just another example of getting the ball to one of your playmakers in space. Mellow Mattress in man coverage on the boundary, actually the field receiver to the outside on that play. About a 7-yard pitch route. Caught it with enough separation to get around the defender and into the end zone for the 26-yard touchdown. The Bulldogs go up 31-20 with 2:34 remaining in the third quarter of action. While we have a bit of a break, I'd like to tell you about our friends at Empire Homes. Enjoy elevated living at Sunrise in Pendleton, just 2 miles from Pendleton High, starting in the mid-300s. Customized, versatile 1- and 2-story home plans with luxury design selections in our 3,900-square-foot design studio. The pool amenity opens next year, and there will be natural trails winding through towering hardwoods. Sunrise encompasses convenience and lifestyle in a convenient location. Visit EmpireHomes.com to discover elevated living in the upper.
So Brody Sprayberry still the kickoff specialist. He lines up to boot it away. It'll be a short kick to his right side, fielded by Riley Broderick. Broderick will try to reverse field and he'll get not too much ahead. He'll be downed at the 28-yard line. So now the Devil Dogs back down double digits, and it's up to Colby Phs and company to get kind of that same magic that they had going on a couple of minutes ago back here.
Found their success running the football right up the gut on the opening drive for them on the second half after the Pendleton turnover.
So Phs back in the shotgun, high snap. Gives it up the middle to Preston Garreau. Garreau will get a couple on the play. Snap issues on both sides of the football for both the Devil Dogs and the Bulldogs. That one high, corralled in by Phs, had to come down low with it in order to give the handoff to Preston. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Devil Dogs were heavy out of the pistol in the first half. Didn't go under center once. Now, back under center for 2nd down and 7. Phs sets up. Gives it up the middle to his fullback, Preston Garreau. Garreau gets 2 yards before being brought down by Michael Dixon. So it's a 3rd down and 5.
Bulldogs have done a nice job shoring up their run defense so far on this drive. Just 4 yards given up in 2 attempts.
And that run defense anchored by the defensive lines, Michael Dixon. It's number 40, Nate Wells. Number 53, Fisher Sailors. And it's number 11, Calhoun Mize. So we're going to see a little bit of Trent Gardner tonight. Haven't seen too much of him. As it's 3rd down and 5. Phs on the option, pitches it to number 21, Jaden Coney. Coney not able to get anywhere. A great job by Branson Wilson, number 3, on the tackle. It'll only be a gain of 1, 4th down and 4. Sam, if you were head coach Chris Goodman and the Devil Dogs, do you go for it here?
I'm going for it here. You can't allow Pendleton to get the football back and go up 3 scores. The game would be virtually over. Looks like he disagrees with me, and they send the punt team out here as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter.
So back deep to receive at the Bulldog 38 is Sam Jennings. Devil Dogs to punt it away. Kick is almost blocked, just this far away, a fingertip away from being blocked. Ball will roll to the Pendleton 45. Still great field position for Dax Allen and company as the 3rd quarter runs out. So we'll go into the 4th, flip sides with the Bulldogs having the ball and leading 31-20. We'll hear from some of our sponsors as we go into the 4th quarter of Pendleton Bulldogs football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse on 105.1 WABB Spirit Radio.
Are you in the market for a new washer or dryer? How about a new refrigerator or a new range? Maybe you'd rather have a new state-of-the-art TV and home theater system with surround sound. If so, be sure to go see the folks at Crenshaws TV and Appliance for the finest selection, advice, and service after the sale. Open 24/7 at www.tvandappliance.com. Proud sponsor of the Pendleton Bulldogs. That's www.tvandappliance.com. Looking for a place to connect and build community? Join us at Foothills Church in Pendleton. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. Whether you're new to exploring your faith or looking for a new church home, you're welcome here. Come experience uplifting worship, a message with real-life application, and a community that cares. That's Foothills Church, Sundays at 10 a.m. at Pendleton High School. We can't wait to see you there.
West Cox Law Firm in Pendleton is proud to sponsor the Bulldogs.
So back with you for the 4th quarter of action. It's 1st down and 10 for the Pendleton Bulldogs. Dax Allen gives it to Deshaun Jenkins. Jenkins will take it past the midfield marker, and it'll be 2nd down and 4. So a great job from Allen to Jenkins on the handoff to start the 4th. Ground and pound going to be essential for the Bulldogs as up double digits. Want to waste as much time as they can here in the 4th, putting together an effective drive. Allen back to pass, drops it to Mattress. Mattress past the 1st down on that curl. Will get a couple yards after the catch before being pushed out of bounds.
Noah Mattress has dominated Jackson Reed in their one-on-one matchup all night. Mattress with a couple explosive plays, including a couple of touchdowns. Actually, just one touchdown, but a couple explosive plays tonight, and has continued to be the anchor of the passing offense on early downs for this Pendleton offense.
Mattress had the touchdown on the last drive and that big play that led to a touchdown on the first. Allen hands it off to Jenkins up the middle. Jenkins, again, a successful run with some put it in there at the end.
Bulldogs have a chance to put together a methodical drive that would likely be the knockout blow if they can go up 3 scores here. Already a minute gone in the fourth quarter of action.
So a lot of pop in the little Jenkins. He'll come out. It'll be Bray Spear on 2nd down and 4 in the backfield with Allen. He'll give it to Spear as Allen. Spear tries to break up a tackle, but one of the Devil Dog defenders grabbed a hold of his left leg and did not let go as Spear was not able to get anywhere besides back to the line of scrimmage.
Still, even with that not being a huge gain, the Bulldogs are avoiding just the catastrophic plays, the penalties to get them behind the chains, keeping it very manageable for themselves here. Now they face a 3rd down and 2, or about 2.5.
And all that with the clock still moving. Trips to the right. Allen back to pass. Fake short. Is going to go deep. He has it all. Going for Mattress. Mattress incomplete. Tried to get up and over the defender, but unable to haul that one in. So it'll be 4th down and 3. But the Bulldogs still have an option to go for it.
Mellow Mattress got behind Jackson Reed yet again, had a couple steps on him. Unfortunately, as Dax Allen had pressure in his face when he rolled out to the left, couldn't quite get enough on the football. It was underthrown by about 5 yards, and Mellow Mattress had to try to muff Jackson Reed to no avail.
So the ball will be put not on the left hash, but now in the middle of the field. Bulldogs try to draw the Devil Dogs off sides.
Absolutely. Watch the hard count here.
4th down and 3. Clapp. Allen looks to the sideline. He'll take it now. He'll go over the middle to Jennings. And Jennings has the catch. Looked to be incomplete for a moment, but Jennings hauled that one in over the middle. Took a big hit in the back as soon as he caught that football, but was able to move the chains for his team. Great ball security by Sam Jennings on the possession catch.
No hesitation on the decision to go for it there from Coach Howell. Got to one of the plays that they've likely been working on in practice all week. A quick hitter from Dax Allen to Sam Jennings that moves the chains.
Allen will pass once again. Rocket screen to Mellow Mattress. Mattress wrestled down around the line of scrimmage as a little bit of that error in the blocking on that left side. Mattress had to get back to the ball to make sure that there was no ineligible man downfield penalty called.
Final score in the Bulldogs region, BHP defeats West Oak 63-0.
Wow. Bulldogs will play both of those teams later on in the year. They'll go to BHP, and they'll host West Oak in back-to-back weeks, with going to BHP in the second game on October 24th, hosting West Oak at Cunningham Stadium on the 17th. 2nd down and 9. Handoff goes to Bray Spear. Spear will stay low to the ground and get a couple, reaching out with his right arm to tally on a few more at the end of the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7. The Bulldogs get out of this one with a win. They'll take the 55, drive down, back to Pendleton. They'll be at Walhalla next week, host West Oak after that, at BHP the 24th, and then on Halloween they'll host Crescent to end their season. Will they go into the region 500? On 3rd down and 7 now, they give it to Spear. Spear breaks some tackles. Spear tries to stay on his feet, is not able to get the first down, but he'll get about 5 yards.
Spear got tripped up around the line of scrimmage. I don't think he was contacted. I think he's just got his feet tangled up a little bit. Still able to stumble forward for a positive gain. Does set up another 4th down for the Bulldogs, who leave the offense out on the field.
4th down and about 3.5. Clock ticking under 8 minutes now. Will the Bulldogs be able to convert another one? Allen passes over the middle. Slant caught by Mellow Mattress. Mattress able to haul it in and keep it into his body, has easily enough yardage for the first down, and the clock keeps rolling.
Looked like an RPO with a slant on the far side of the field. Mellow Mattress continuing to dominate his matchup with Jackson Reed. Gets a step on him over the middle and makes a contested catch. Really strong hands on display by Mellow Mattress, who has had himself a night.
And Sam, you talked to Mello a couple weeks ago on our halftime show. He talked about how much he wants to do this as a senior for all of his brothers out there. As on this first down now, Dax Allen rolls to his right, and that pass is nearly picked off in the end zone, barely dropped as that ball was low to the ground. Wow, that was a crazy play. It seemed to be a miscommunication on the handoff. As Allen rolled to his right with the back going to the left was Spear. Allen tried to throw it back over the middle, but to no avail, almost picked off by a Devil Dog defender.
Yeah, a couple of disasters avoided on that play. The first one being there was a free rusher coming off the right side, nearly sacked Dax Allen for a loss of 10 or 15 yards, and then Allen spins out of that, makes an ill-advised throw into double coverage looking for Ty Miller in the end zone. Thankfully, it falls incomplete.
Second down and goal. Handoff will go to Spear. Spear will not be taken down easily. Spear with a big man run. He'll be down at the 3-yard line.
Thought for sure Bray Spear was going to go down at the line of scrimmage. He keeps those legs moving, driving his body down inside the 5. They're going to put the ball on the 3-yard line.
Third down and goal. Under 7 to play. The Bulldogs looking to go up 3 scores. Allen looks to his sideline for the play call, and there'll be whistles as Pendleton will call their first timeout of the second half. So with that second half, a huge third down looming up. Sam, what do you see Coach Howell dialing up here?
In these short yardage situations, we've seen Coach Howell call these quick hitters either to the outside or over the middle of the field. Got to think Travlers Rest going to be anticipating that a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see a double set of some sort with one running back, likely Spear, in the formation in the backfield with Allen. And depending on what kind of box you get, let's say if there's 6 or less guys in the box, you hand it off. If there's 7 or more, you try to exploit one of those one-on-one matchups that's really been working for Allen tonight. He could potentially throw his 6th touchdown of the night.
6 touchdowns would be mind-blowing for those who entered the Pendleton Bulldog football season expecting it to be Jackson Allman at the helm, which it was. Allman showed flashes of greatness before being injured in the second game against Keenan, dealing with something on his throwing shoulder or on his collarbone. In steps Allen, the starting middle linebacker, and tonight he has wowed. Third down and goal now. Allen will drop back to pass after faking it off. That pass will go in between the uprights of the field goal post. Incomplete, thrown out of the back of the end zone. But there is a flag on the play. That ball clearly out of the reach of every defender. Allen just trying to throw that one up as high as he possibly could.
There was a receiver in Ty Miller in the area, so I wouldn't think this would be grounding.
Was very high, clearly out of reach.
You're going to call ineligible receiver downfield. I believe Travlers Rest will decline this.
That's exactly what they will do. So ineligible receiver downfield. Somebody down, inched a little bit closer to the goal line than they should have once the ball was snapped. So that penalty is declined by the Devil Dogs, and it will be 4th down and goal from the 3. Clock stopped at 6:28.
Remember, this drive started at the beginning of the 4th quarter, so 5.5 minutes elapsing off the clock by the Bulldogs on this drive.
Bulldogs will have it for 4th down. Dax Allen will keep it himself. Dax Allen contacted the first down. Dax Allen will reach for it. Dax Allen, touchdown! Dax Allen with every single bit of strength that he has, reaching over the goal line to put the Bulldogs up 37-20. What an effort by number 2.
A 14-play drive that took 5 minutes and 39 seconds ends in a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Dax Allen putting the backpack on for that 3-yard touchdown run.
Kick by Alex Whitman is good, and the Bulldogs now up 38-20. What a drive, as you mentioned, Sam. 14 plays, almost 6 minutes fully taken off the clock, and just ice in the veins of every single Bulldog player on the offensive line, in the receiving core, in the backfield, and especially the quarterback, Dax Allen, who, despite every defender trying to rip him away from that end zone, that second effort, that fighting spirit, lifting him over the goal line to put his team up and hopefully put this game out of reach.
Yeah, up 18 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Should be enough to walk away from this one victorious, a 3-score lead.
Crazier things have happened, though, in the state of South Carolina in high school football. A lot of great games going on tonight, a lot of region play for Bulldog common opponents in 3A.
With that long drive as well, one thing that I just thought about, that Bulldog defense is going to be rested as they try to put a bow on this win.
And the Bulldogs defense has come up with some big stops already this game. They need at least one more. Kick away from Sprayberry will be returned at the 25. Tackles were broken repeatedly, and the return man just appeared out of a host of characters. Great job by Preston Garreau getting it past the 35 after illusioning himself away from a lot of the Bulldog defenders, eluding them left and right. Ball will be placed on the Travlers Rest 42-yard line. So great field position for the Devil Dogs.
It's one of the slowest big returns I've ever seen. He just dragged the pile for about 10 or 15 yards. That kickoff took 9 seconds off the clock.
So now it's Colby Epps. He's back in the shotgun. High snap. Gives it up the middle to Preston Garreau. Garreau not able to get much there, maybe 2 yards. And interesting by the Devil Dogs running this football after they had success with the pass in the first half out of this shotgun formation. We've seen them completely go to a run-heavy stylistic approach in the second half, and it hasn't worked out well for them other than that one drive where they had great field position off of the fumble turnover for the first offensive possession of the second half. Since then, it's been nada.
And the Bulldog defense has really settled in here since that point to start the second half. How about Trent Garner resuming the game action to make the play there? I think that's the first time we've called his name tonight.
Trent Garner showing up when it matters most. Now in the fourth quarter, big-time players making big-time plays. Triple option look from Epps. He'll just hand it off to the back, and nowhere to go for Preston Garreau. A gain of about 1 there on the play. It's 3rd down and 7. Trent Garner with another stop there.
I think this might be his first defensive series being in the game. I don't recall seeing him. Obviously, he's missed some time. I think he got injured in the Keenan game as well. It was either the Keenan game or the Woodmont game. Good to see Trent Garner back on the field. We know how much of a game wrecker he can be.
Coach Howell did tell us before the game that you could see some Trent Garner returning from an injury he had earlier this season. Seems like they've saved Trent Garner to where when the game matters most, he's in the backfield, as he is. Epps with the snap. Epps immediately taken down by Fisher. Sailors could have been a quarterback keeper or just a busted play, but Fisher Sailors and 2 other defensive linemen in there immediately. Loss of a couple, and it's a 4th down and very long now as the clock approaches 4 minutes. So the Devil Dogs running out of air.
The punt team coming out for TR, so they're waving the white flag here.
Wow. So down 18 points, TR will punt away. And that likely signifies the Bulldogs moving to first 500 for the first time since their win over Keenan in the month of August.
First 3 and out forced by the Pendleton defense since the second drive of the game.
Punt goes away. Off the bounce, received by Jenkins. Jenkins will get a couple back with it. He'll be crossed his own 45 and out of bounds. So the Bulldogs have the ball 3 minutes and 45 seconds left under the 4-minute mark as the defense gets a stop, and they will most likely, regarding an absolute miracle, walk out of Travlers Rest with a victory. What a game, Sam.
We talked about the implications of this game in the pregame show brought to you by Guy's Pizza of Sandy Springs. Obviously has no bearing on the end result of the season for the Bulldogs. This is the final non-region game on the slate. But to go into region play 3-3 after starting 1-3, big momentum shift. Hopefully the Bulldogs can build on it next week.
On a first down, handoff goes to Jenkins. Jenkins will get left. Jenkins will get going. Jenkins will get a first down, a gain of 11 to move the chain. So Jenkins has been a huge part of the win for the Bulldogs tonight. Both him and Spear have had their moments, but Jenkins really the little engine that could tonight.
Absolutely, and Jenkins a little bit different of a runner than Spear. Spear is kind of the more power back that's going to be patient, wait on his blocks. No, Jenkins is like, let's go, pushing his blockers to get out in front of him. Does a really nice job to get the edge there.
Another carry up the middle for Jenkins. And this one firmly in control of the Bulldogs on the ground. Bulldogs will go to Walhalla next week. Walhalla lost to Crescent tonight. VHP destroyed Woodmont. Those are the 4 regional opponents. Pendleton will move into their first region play next week. Second down and 5. Allen to Jenkins once again. Jenkins has a hole. Jenkins has space up the middle. Jenkins, will he add a bow on this game? No, he will not. Jenkins tackled. No, it's not. Jenkins stood on his feet. Jenkins stood on his feet. They wrapped him around and over, landed right back on his feet, and Jenkins into the end zone. He will put a bow on it, and he wrapped it very nicely. Deshaun Jenkins into the end zone as Pendleton goes up 44-20. An absolutely great run. Jenkins had a ton of space over the middle. He was wrapped out, and he rolled over. His knees never touched the ground, landed on his feet at the 3-yard line, and stood up into the end zone for another touchdown. So what a run by Jenkins. It has been his night as number 19, Alex Whitman, puts the exclamation point on that one. It's 45-20. Your score, Pendleton up over Travlers Rest. Wow, what a run there at the end of the game, and what a great job by Deshaun Jenkins, really writing the summary of this entire game, which is Pendleton's explosive plays really hurting the Devil Dogs.
A 59-yard touchdown run, a 41-yard touchdown run for Jenkins on the play. Really good to see him get into the end zone. You'd be hard-pressed to find anybody on the team that plays with a higher motor, especially on the offensive side of the football, than that of Deshaun Jenkins, the guy we've nicknamed the little engine that could throughout this season. He sure could on that run.
No doubt about it. As Pendleton will move into region play, important to note that Pendleton would make the playoffs because of how their region works, regardless of their record. But going into region play at 500 gives them a chance to really make something going towards this end of the season. 3-3 in non-region play, very respectable. A couple games against Woodmont and Chesney that you probably want back. But they'll be going into Walhalla at 3-3. So a little pooch kick there on the kickoff from Sprayberry. The Devil Dogs will have a chance to really take something into next week as they host Daniel Lions next week, the number 22 team in the state of South Carolina. It'll be a bloodbath, most likely, as the Lions roll into town.
That will be a tall task. As through 3 quarters tonight, Daniel 56-0 over Berea, another Greenville team.
So first down and 10, 3 men in the backfield. for the Devil Dogs. TR just trying to get out of this with something. High snap over the head of Epps. Epps has to fall on it. And that indicates the entire second half. Not what you want to see.
With this victory, David, it's going to be one for the history books, as this is the 7th consecutive win in the series for Pendleton between the Bulldogs and the Devil Dogs, and it puts them ahead in the all-team series 8-7-1.
Head coach Grace Helm undefeated against Travlers Rest as a Pendleton head coach. How about that? Handoff goes to Jaden Coney on a 2nd down and 17. Coney will get a couple. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's a 3rd down and 10 with a minute and a half left to go in this game.
Coney's a really bright spot for this Travlers Rest offense, especially out of the running backs that have been in the rotation. Wouldn't be surprised if he has more of a role moving forward as Travlers Rest gets into region play.
Travlers Rest has a difficult schedule ahead of them in 4A. They'll host Daniel and Blue Ridge. In the next 2 weeks, they'll go at Berea, which should be a win, and at Pickens to end the season. So 2 of the easier opponents on the road, but a tall task nonetheless at 2-4. Another carry there, this time from number 33, Josiah McKibben, up the middle. It's a 4th down and 2. With 50 seconds left to go in this game, the Devil Dogs will have to run one more play, and hopefully they can take this one into next week. As for the Bulldogs, they'll move to 3-3, back to 500 for the first time since August. What an accomplishment for Coach Halsrod, having to deal with injury after injury, losing your starting quarterback, losing Trent Garner, losing some guys on the offensive line. They sit 3-3 in October, looking into region play, going at a defeated Walhalla.
Absolutely. Definitely a spot where you can see the Bulldogs start off the region slate 1-0, as Walhalla has had a really tough season so far. A lot of blowout losses at the hands of its cross-county rivals. The Seneca dominated their matchup with Walhalla, so it'll be interesting to see if the Bulldogs can add salt to the wound for the Razorbacks next week. We will have that call for you next week. I believe Ryan Goodrow will be joining me.
Absolutely.
For that call.
For that one. Won't be able to be here, but definitely will listen to that one if I get a chance. So, delay of game penalty from TR. They'll punt it away to end the game on a 4th down and 7. Fake punt unit was out on there for Pendleton. Ball goes out of bounds with 5.5 seconds remaining. It'll be 1 kneel down, and the Bulldogs will go home victorious. Winners of 2 straight as they go into Walhalla next week. Walhalla really roughed up by Crescent today. To view that matchup, 46-13 at halftime, according to Max Preps. They'll be 0-6 after tonight. Pendleton 3-3. Has that big matchup for the region, most likely, at BHP on the 24th of October.
The Bulldogs will come out in the best formation in football, victory formation.
And with 5.5 seconds left to go, you can hear the fight song of the Bulldogs, that memorable Notre Dame Fighting Irish fight song taken by the Bulldogs, made their own, and the Dogs are walking victorious tonight. Final score, Bulldogs 45, Devil Dogs 20. That'll do it for this game. We'll move quickly into the Reigns on Exchange post-game. Sam, your final thoughts from tonight?
Just thought tonight's effort was a great show of resiliency by this Pendleton Bulldog football team. Started off the game with an interception on the first play from scrimmage. That was Bradley Runyon getting things started. Then just 3 plays later, Bulldogs took a 6-0 lead after a Sam Jennings touchdown reception. Then Travlers Rest led 7-6 at the end of the quarter, And then the madness that was the second quarter commenced. Bulldogs took a 12-7 lead after a 35-yard touchdown reception by Landon McMillan. And then Travlers Rest, they punch right back with a Preston Garreau kickoff return touchdown, 85 yards to the house to make it 14-12 Travlers Rest. Sam Jennings responds on the next drive, getting behind the defense for a 43-yard touchdown reception to give Pendleton the 18-14 lead. Travlers Rest on his next drive had a punt blocked by the Bulldogs, which set up a 27-yard touchdown for Sam Jennings yet again, pushing the halftime score to 24-14. And then Travlers Rest forces a fumble on the first play of scrimmage in the second half, scores a touchdown to make it 24-20. Then what do we see the rest of the game? 21 unanswered from the Bulldogs. That is how you show resiliency. That is how you finish and dominate the second half in a ball game.
The Bulldogs looking to take that resiliency into Walhalla next week as they go on the road, looking to avenge a loss last year where they lost 20-7, and I believe it was the all-star running back last year for Walhalla. I believe that was Landon McMillan, Landon Robertson, the Walhalla running back who ran for almost 2,000 yards last season. He ran for over 200 against Pendleton last season. That's definitely in the mind of a lot of Bulldogs, including the captains and quarterback Dax Allen, who had to face him as one of the linebackers last year. So it will definitely be no holds barred. Personal matchup next week as 3-3 Pendleton goes at 0-6 Walhalla. Tune in for that one. Sam Gaudreau and Ryan Gaudreau on the call for that one. On this one, it was David Poley and Sam Gaudreau. You were listening to Pendleton Bulldogs football, sponsored by Longhorn Steakhouse on 105. WABB Spirit Radio. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Thank you all for listening. Good night, and God bless. Go Bulldogs.